Alright. We're live, Zapchan. Now we can begin all the evil we want.
Oh my god.
Goodness. Well, first things first, before we get into the festivities, we want to make sure everything's coming in okay. Can you guys hear Zapchan? Can you guys hear me?
Yep, this is me. I'm the blue boy.
Blue?
Can you hear me okay?
Don't tell people that blue's the worst color, or else they might wonder why you're here.
How dare you?
Goodness gracious. Well, the festivities will mostly include showing off some production materials from Max 2, showing some scenes I've been working on.
It's a bit quiet, is what I'm getting right now.
Am I quiet, or are you quiet?
Both of us from the looks of it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, just gotta turn it up a bit.
I'll turn it up so much, to the point where people won't even be able to handle it. Unironically, they'll just go deaf. That's just how it is.
Hope you're ready for the speed core stream.
Oh, well, no, we're not going to do that. Jesus. See, if I did that, I'd be an asshole. And I might be a bully, but I'm not an asshole. There's a very, very noticeable divide between those two.
Chad, is it still too quiet? How are we doing?
I turned it up both by like 50%, and it's going to take like a couple seconds before that registers for everyone in the chat.
It's looking a bit like it's still too quiet. I'm watching it myself.
That's very strange. I'll max out both as high as they can possibly go.
We're gonna be really loud.
What, because I turned it up even more, or just because it got really loud because it took that long for it to register?
Because you're maxing it out.
Well, yeah, I did max it out.
It's the Maxification stream.
Oh, dude. Well, we'll continue forward, and if it is so ridiculously quiet, I guess it's just what we're gonna have to do. Okay, people are saying it's better now. All right.
Yeah, they're saying it's good. Okay.
Cool, cool.
You want to reintroduce?
Yes. So this is my first time doing a stream like this, and I realized I probably should have been doing these more often, given the fact that I don't really update too often for my community. So I'm gonna try to do these monthly if all goes well, hopefully. Just to show you guys I'm actually doing something, and I'm not just sitting around sucking up sawdust into several different orifices. We will start off by showing off a little animation, and then I will show a couple scenes from the movie that are currently a work in progress, and we'll see how things go from there.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
We're going to leak the whole movie. That's what we're doing.
We're not leaking the whole movie. You'd just be a monster if you did that. A terrible, cruel individual that knows nothing other than pain. That tends to be how these things go.
Yeah. I'm also here, by the way. It's me, Zapchon.
Zapchan is a really cool guy. I've known him for many years, and we've done cool things together.
Yes. I made the funny Cringe Hank and was in the Gabriel video. That's what I'm really known for.
Cringe Hank 3, the final whinge.
Yes, but I'll be reading the chat for questions, so if you have anything you want to ask Jsoull or me, then just say it in the chat.
Yeah, my main purpose here is to help interface with you guys. I'm willing to ask any questions as long as it doesn't involve my home address or social security number. As long as you don't touch those, we're okay.
I only want the 3 digits on the back, man. It's not a big deal.
Well, it is kind of a big deal, because with that you can kind of screw me over. You know how bad those things can go.
Yeah.
That just happens. I mean, sometimes you end up in a situation where you have to realize that, shit, you just were stupid enough to hand out your social security number.
Yeah, I mean, you know, some days you're smart and some days you're a child in Mr. Beast's comment section.
Oh god. Well.
Like there's actually children posting their home address and stuff in the Mr. Beast comment section.
That's very telling of today's parenting strategies. I will say that.
It's concerning more than anything. Also, we got our first question.
Alright, what is it?
Why are you bald?
I'm bald because I have a terrible skin disorder that makes it so I can't grow hair. But back in high school, I would tell people I had cancer because when they asked me if I was bald, I thought it was very rude. So I just said I had cancer, and they left me alone. And actually, what happened was in sophomore year, this one kid, it was like the first day of school, I didn't know any idea who the hell he was. And he just walks up to me and says, "Hey man, why are you bald?" But he wasn't saying it in like a rude way to piss me off. He was saying it because he was just really stupid and didn't realize that it was kind of insensitive. So I just told him I had like chronic, I think I said I had like skin cancer. And then he looked really depressed after that and left me alone.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what happens when you act like a dickhead.
Man.
That's right, Jsoull's a bully. What are you gonna do about it?
Jesus Christ. I almost feel bad for him now, like everything's insulted a cancer patient.
Well, that's what you get for being such a dickhead. And,
Shit.
and plus, keep in mind, I said that when I was like 15, so I don't think I would do the same thing nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, I'd hope not.
You would hope not. What if
I
it's
have
funny?
there's another question for you, by the way, Jay.
What's up?
When is Madness Betrayal 2?
I don't really want to do Madness Betrayal 2. Originally, I think back when I was an idiot in 2017, I was going to do something like the second will be specifically about killing Kelzad, but then I realized it was such a shit show I didn't want to touch it anymore. And this is kind of what
Probably for the
happens.
better.
Yeah, of course it's for the better. Fucking Betrayal was terrible. It wasn't even funny. And I wanted it to be funny, so that means I failed.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like the key takeaway is just that
The
drama
key takeaway
usually
is
isn't
don't
funny.
get involved in madness drama because you lose IQ points.
Oh yeah, it's a losing battle for everybody involved. I've come to realize.
It's basically how it goes. This ATP thought he was going to go see his wife and kids, and that's why he had to get shot in the face. It was the only way.
That's what you get for being a simp, fucker.
Yeah, liking women, you can't do that nowadays, man. You know how it is. I mean, jeez Louise. Let's touch this up a
Oh
little
yeah.
bit.
Sorry, Happy Days, I forgot we already do have Madness Betrayal 2
Ew.
and 3.
The Cringe Hank finale is actually going to be Betrayal 3, the final betrayal.
Yeah, Mr. X now got betrayed.
Unironically, I could see someone in X-Tile pulling that off.
So,
I mean, we've seen worse. Remember that one particularly politically charged Madness Day submission this year about a certain...
oh god, dude, okay.
And
the
Kriggles
worst
put
part-
that on his stream. I don't know what the hell he
Yeah.
was thinking. How the hell did he not get taken down doing that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the worst part of that was, like, seeing Crinkles react to it on stream.
I'm shocked he didn't get his channel taken down. People have been taken down for way less.
Well, no, I just admire how Matt just had the blankest expression on his face through the whole thing.
I don't know how else you could express or emote during that. It was just terrible.
Also, okay. Shout out to Raven the Lemon, Cree, and Mad Yellow, who are all in the chat.
Mad Yellow, I haven't talked to him in 76 years after he bailed on Parody 2. Actually, he's a really cool guy and I love him.
Yeah, I miss Mad Yellow. He's cool.
But then he disappeared because, I don't know, I think something happened with the Maximum Ninja Call I think he was running. Even though I don't really know all the details.
Also, General D has asked you a question, Jsoull.
What is it?
He asked if you will participate in Deimos is Dead 2.
No, God no. I already hate Deimos is Dead. It's entirely derivative of an actual YouTube poop someone made, with just madness characters on top of it, and it stole the fucking Madness Day winner spots from other people.
Damn, you don't have to do them like that. It's in the chat.
He can go to hell.
Shit.
I'd say the same thing to that bastard that made that other crap that got up in this Madness Day. Got first place. You know what I'm talking about.
No, damn. I mean, I think it was...
It was okay, but it definitely did not deserve the #1 spot. It was well made. I liked the style. Even when I first saw it before they gave the ratings for it, I'm like, you know, this obviously had a lot of, like, artistic effort put into it. My main issue was the fact that it kind of took away the spot from other creations that were kind of more madness-y. I would say Black Berserk was more deserving of a top 3 than Guy's Night Out.
I mean, yeah. Also,
Oh, you guys just saw that live. That's another bug Flash likes to do. When you're drawing with a brush, sometimes it's like, well, I guess we're just going to erase everything connected with this object, which is what it just did. And if it auto-saved after that, I would be screwed. Oh, there we go. I Control-Z'd once and it didn't do anything, and I thought I really did lose all that.
Oh yeah, you guys aren't ready for this. He goes absolutely fucking insane. Like, if he still had hair, I'd be tearing it out right now.
Yeah, it's a good thing I don't have any... Like, that's the bonus point about being bald. I don't need to be stressed to lose my hair. It's already gone, so I got nothing to lose.
I mean, I don't really know what I would pick as the top 1 for Madness Day, so I guess I don't really have much to complain about there.
I would say at least the Depredation remake deserved to be like number 2. That had a lot of work put into it. Did you see it?
Wait, wasn't it already number 2? The Depredation
Was it?
remake?
I thought it made 3. Boys Night was 1, and then something else got 2.
I think, was it 2nd? I forget.
Double check. If it is, then I have less anger to put towards people.
Let me take a look real quick. Oh no, okay, Rush City got 2nd, became 3rd.
Rush City was good, but I do think Depredation was more deserving in that place.
I mean, I think the only real disagreement I got is just that Tubster's movie won nothing. Like, I fucking loved it.
Yeah, his was, I think that's the one that was like a shorter but sweeter Rush City, right? In terms of style.
Yeah, I just know I like the movie. Also, hello, Jiramotus. Congrats on 3rd place. He's the one who made the Depredation remake.
That was a pretty good remake. I saw someone that was trying to redo 6, and it wasn't looking too good. I don't think it was him, though.
No, it wasn't. It was a different guy.
Yeah.
Entirely.
I think the issue there is with, like, 6, when you're remaking 6 is, like, one of the main keystones of what made Madness right next to, like, 7. 6 and 7 were its formulative episodes before it became the kind of dark, diesel-punky sort of aesthetic. And so you kind of have to nail those really well. And 6 was the 6th remake I saw, like the preview was like way too slow. It was sort of like how I animated back in like 2018, where everyone took like really slow leaps in between each movement, and every single thing they did was really exaggerated and slow.
I'm just gonna say, like, I mean, I think White Hank 2 is what really changed the way people animated stuff, because after that, you didn't really see much of the hop style.
Oh yeah, White Hank 2 is pretty damn good. I think White Hank 2 is better than Infinite, or 3, or whatever the fuck it's called.
0.
0. I like 2 better than 0, because 2's got a lot more meat on the bone for its runtime, and 0 just kind of goes on for way too damn long. I think asking people to sit down for over 40 minutes to watch a Madness movie is a little extreme. That's why I kind of want to keep my eye on the clock with Max 2 to make sure I don't make it go on for like 3 hours. Because that'd be kind of crappy.
Yeah.
That's a good way to make it so people never want to look at you again.
So, somebody in the chat said that Cinemadness deserved 3rd, which is a fair choice.
Cinemadness was pretty damn good too. Like,
yeah, like I've seen Dark Signal work on that for ages.
Yeah, like on the technical scale, it doesn't look like it, but like within doing it in Flash with the way he did it was really fucking hard, and he was able to nail a really unique style that I haven't seen before. Like, he defined his own way of doing it, and I think that at least deserves a better place. Especially since, again, he made like all the assets in there completely from scratch. They weren't even based on like existing Madness sprites. He did everything completely himself to nail this 2.5D aesthetic, and I think that's pretty neat.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm not going to talk about actual placements, because, I mean, I've come to realize I'm a pretty shit judge myself, to be honest.
Ew.
But I do really admire Dark Signal for making an entire sprite library. Like, he didn't just use the ones that were in the movie. Like, he's made every single PN2 enemy in his style, I'm pretty sure.
He's done a shit ton of work, because he worked on that dossier program thing where you can look at any enemy or character within all of Project Nexus, and he did that completely from scratch, programmed from scratch. It's ridiculous. I don't know how the hell he does it. He's just crazy. Yeah, I'm the one saying he's crazy. Isn't that just funny? I mean,
that's really saying something.
Jeez, yeah, you don't want to mess with Jsoull, or else you might find yourself in a ditch missing a couple body parts. Just like what happened to that door-to-door salesman that disappeared from my neighborhood. No one ever heard of him, but I know what happened.
So wait, I'm looking in the chat. Apparently, I'm sort of quiet. So I'm hearing somebody.
Well, desktop audio is maxed out, and microphone audio is maxed out. Not
Yeah,
sure what to do
Discord
about
audio.
that. I could turn you up inside my actual computer to the point where I go deaf.
Oh,
Should I do that?
you can try. I mean, you don't need to go too high. I think it's only a little bit.
Too high. That's what they all say. I'll turn you up a tad. Actually, I should do that in the actual sound mixer. Give me a moment. And for some reason, the Music Bee logo, I gave it like a custom ammo icon, and for some reason that's gigantic inside the sound mixer, and I can't actually click on it.
So look at your creation. It wants you to force it.
There, in about 30 seconds, you guys should be able to hear him a tiny bit better. Was the salesman bald? No, he was not.
Well, you gotta fix that.
Shit.
The movie's unwatchable.
I guess it is. It's unwatchable like how this ATP won't be able to see anymore because he's kind of dead. You see, here's the mistake. There's a firefight going on, and one of his best friends was hurt and fell to the ground, and he made the mistake of trying to pull him to safety, and that's why he got shot. Max 2 teaches you cannot have any compassion or else you die.
Also, no, Darren, I am not a soup. Sorry.
Dechon Mednis.
Yeah, shout out to Darren Madness. He's one of the funniest motherfuckers I've ever talked to.
No, like, unironically, we're not making fun. Like, Darren, I love you.
No, legitimately.
You're such an awesome guy. You're such a character. I can't get enough of you. Like, I would want to marry you if it was legal, but you can't marry French people anymore.
Actually, I'm realizing one thing I could do to help out with being quiet. Could bring the mic closer to me, like that.
That could help a tad bit. Are people still saying
there
that
we
you're
go.
so quiet they can't hear you for the rest of your life?
Yeah, I mean, and I think this is about all we can do.
Good. And then, if this doesn't work, I guess you'll never be heard ever again.
Yeah.
That's as simple as it gets.
Also, I'm reading a question in the chat, but I feel like it's gonna start a long discussion.
Do it. Do it. Or,
Right,
yeah, do
Jsoull.
that, and then I'll describe a little bit more about the movie to fill things in.
Alright, well, VRBSN the boy is asking if you will buy a Madness NFT, Jsoull.
No, God, no. Well, because he wants me to talk about the Baran thing.
No, I don't know if he wants you to talk about it, he just asked.
I would never buy a Madness NFT, because most NFTs are fucking pump and dump schemes for shitty crypto scams. Maybe NFTs at first were more legitimate, but now they're just being taken advantage of by every unsatisfactory individual you could imagine.
I mean, I got nothing against anybody anymore, really. But like, I wouldn't personally buy an NFT.
Just because of what kind of evil they perform.
I mean, I don't remember, but like, I heard something about the original creator of NFT, like speaking against it or something. Now,
Probably because it wasn't meant to take on this sort of identity. That's
Yeah.
my take from it.
Jsoull NFT win.
God.
Shit, let me take a look. Got any more
Now people are
questions?
gonna start making Abaddon NFTs just to piss me off, I bet.
Get the new Abaddon skin pack.
Ugh. God.
You can get the original skin for him, where it's the version you had in 2017 with the
Oh.
Nexus gear.
Oh no, that was 2016. That's back when I made Maxification 1. And Jesus
Yes.
Christ. You know, I think it's gonna be really funny. Someone like just discovering my channel, like someone who's kind of into madness, they see Maxification 1's like, oh, that was a cute little animation, let me see the second one, and then they see this.
And they're
It's
like, what the
like-
fuck did they get Hollywood in?
Yeah, what the hell happened there, people? They're gonna think I probably tried to steal everything from the Chinese. But the Chinese steal everything from everyone else, so it's not true. Madness itself will be annihilated.
Oh wait, we got an actual good question, Jay.
What's up?
Alright, somebody's asking what do you plan to do after you finish Max, like with Madness and everything?
Well, I don't want to make fucking movies anymore, I can tell you that. I love Madness, and I'm doing this for you guys. But, like, working in Flash, at least, is kind of like herding a pack of rabid coyotes, where every single step of the way they bite and they growl and they just try to rip you apart. And you have to increasingly justify why you're working on it. That's at least my personal experience with working with this damn thing. It's a tool set that actively works against you to make sure you can't accomplish your goals. It was made by horrible, cruel people, and if they're watching this right now, they're probably laughing their asses off and eating popcorn. But for a more clear answer, after Madness, I want to do more unrelated creative projects that don't have to do with it. I've been looking forward to working on some web comics for a bit, some short animated films. I have a lot of things in the, a lot of irons in the fire, let's say.
Yeah, basically, like, this is your magnum opus. Like, this is what you want to end off with a bang with, so
Yeah,
to
and
speak.
that mostly comes from just my outlook on Madness itself. A lot of people don't really agree with me, but I don't really want to treat it as like a career thing or a job thing. Like
Well,
for
yeah, I
me,
mean,
yeah, like especially what's been happening recently. I'll get back to the NFT thing because I looped back on this, but
I mean, I don't know. I feel like everybody already talked about the NFT. There's not too much to say that hasn't already been said,
well, specifically about Baran.
or just in general, really. Like, there's NFT talks everywhere.
Yeah, it's fucked. But I'd rather create just like one last movie. Like I don't want to drag it out to a fucking series that's going on for 9 years. Like I want to make one completely comprehensive, completely conclusive final iteration of the best possible work I can put into Madness. Like something I know I can never top if I ever try to get. Because
Yeah.
I would rather leave off with a bang than a whimper and slowly disappearing as I make Maxification 3 the final maxining.
You basically want to make Evangelion, like, the ultimate.
Until they fuck that up with the new one.
Cool.
But I'm not going to get started because you start talking about that, people will kill you.
Oh, yeah.
They'll rip you
I mean,
apart.
well, yeah, I mean, you've talked about Evangelion enough to where it's like I've seen the whole movie now.
Basically. But
I don't blame you, though. It looks pretty cool.
Not the new one. The old one.
Well, yeah, I mean, like that old one with, like, that one shot of the massive explosion and the tank in the distance.
Yeah, of course. That's going to be an inspiration for what happens later when things explode and people die. Pretty shocking.
Okay, we got some more genuine questions here, by the way. So I'm gonna go through them as I'm seeing them. All right, so first one is coming from Whalefat, and it's, what's the worst bug you've encountered with Flash so far?
Well, you just saw one of them on stream earlier when I'm drawing with the brush, and then literally I don't hit any other keys, nothing. I'm just drawing with the brush, and as soon as my finger leaves my left mouse button, it'll delete everything associated with that object. I remember like a while ago, I think Crinkle streamed too, and you saw that happen to him when he was working like the demo sprites. Like the mouth just disappeared when he was drawing it, and it's like, I think what's happening is it has something to do with when Flash is trying to round out the brush. Because you know, like when you move, like you paint with the brush, but it moves off like a couple pixels when you draw it. I remember always, he showed that off on Twitter before. Like when you're zoomed in really, really close and you're trying to draw shapes sometimes. I think it's when in specific graphics. I don't know why, but everything
Shout out
shifts
to
a little.
Always.
Yeah, Always is awesome. I think
Yeah,
what's
he's
happening
fucking-
is when it's trying to do that, it sometimes forgets that you're actually drawing something and just deletes the whole fucking thing. It only leaves the parts that are not directly connected to it. I don't know why that fucking happens or how you could screw up that bad. Can you imagine that happening and then the program crashing and you losing all your work? Other than that, the worst bugs are the blackout crashes, which we might be able to catch on stream. It's when everything starts getting really slow for no reason, and then every single component of the window starts turning black, and then eventually the whole program locks up to the point where you can't even save. That happened to me.
I like to call that one the void, because it's sort of like it starts in the middle usually, and then it spreads like a void.
Yeah, usually like this, like the color and properties window here, that'll turn black, and then the timeline, and then all the buttons. And if I don't save everything fast enough, a window will pop up.
Gone.
No, a window pops up that has no text on it, and no matter what button I press, it will instantly, like if I hit enter, if I hit escape, it'll instantly bring up the new window. Here's the thing though, when that window comes up, it's no longer possible to save because it won't let you click on anything else. It won't let me go to the other tabs I have to save them, and it won't let me even save the tab I'm in. So when that warning comes up, it literally just forces me to go to Task Manager and hard crash the program. And when that happens, I lose a shit ton of work. That's actually what happened with this scene, the meat processing room. It's called Recover because it crashed once and I lost like half of it. It was horrible. Because the other scene
Yeah.
is going to show off later in Premiere, because most of the section's done.
Yeah. There's also another question coming from Mango Man, which is, will you make tutorials like importing Blender to Flash, for example, after Max 2 is done?
Probably, yeah. It's just so other people can do what I do.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I
I'd
feel
like to see
like
stuff like that.
I feel like all the agony and pain I've been through just trying to make this movie work should be a learning experience for some other people.
Yeah, I'd personally like to see some of your like general tips for spriting, because like half the time I have no idea how you manage to think of some of the shit you do,
What do you mean, like
like the
this guy,
redesigns.
or specifically just redesigns? I mean, like this.
Yeah, I mean like redesigns, like the one for Decadar there looks pretty fucking cool.
Well, LK had a big hand in helping with that. LK Gross is like my man. He's like my long lost brother that grew up in the Soviet Union.
There's also another question coming in from the Fetcher that said, Jsoull, you said you were going to release stuff after Max 2, right? In that case, are you going to release the backgrounds as well?
Probably, yeah. I'm gonna release I'll release like a zip file of like my compositions for the backgrounds, ways to import them into Flash, rotoscoping, all that kind of shit. But keep in mind, working in Flash itself is like trying to work your way through a minefield when wearing high heels. So even if you have these skills, you're still gonna have to practice your way to not step on any of those explosives. Or else you'll end up like this guy. All squished with his face all fucked up. That's what he gets for trying to use Flash.
You fucked up my face.
You fucked up my face.
It's still like such an iconic moment for all the wrong reasons.
Well, because on its own it's pretty funny. Like
It's like
this
the fucking barbers.
this guy's going off to see his family. That's why he's in this transportation tube, and is definitely not a dead body.
Also, Coda, you're right. I'll never recover from being exposed. To answer your question.
Exposed.
I've been found out to be problematic. This is the end.
You're problematic because you want to know why?
Why?
You're blue.
Wait, what was that going up the pipe? I just saw it for a second. Like
It's a person.
when you went past. Oh, so I only like just noticed that now. Like,
Yeah,
maybe
basically,
somebody showed me
this
before.
this room's gonna be where in the. Okay, I need to kind of get into more about what's going on in the movie. So, it's structured by the sections within the megaplex, which is like the main superstructure you saw at the end of commencement. Most of the movie takes place inside there, and each kind of section of the film takes place within each of the sections of the building. And each one's at least like, I don't know, 3 to 4 minutes ish. The meat sector's about 5 minutes. And it takes place around the early middle ish of the movie. And this is where the Nexus Corps disposes of all dead bodies and failed clones and test subjects. They mulch them into meat paste, and then they turn them into food products for the citizenry. And what's going to be happening in here, you see the bodies are being transported through there, and then back here there's going to be like racks of bodies hanging on like meat cleavers, all cut up because they're chopping them into pieces to turn to different products. And on this table it's going to be like a little dissection table. It's going to be like little medical items like scalpels and saws and shit, and they're dissecting a body to try to make sure it's good quality for their products. You know,
Yes.
Burger Gills has to get apex stuff. And then we also got our containers of blood, because you know that's just kind of what you do.
There's also a question coming in from Scorepack. Shout out to him, by the way, cool guy. Again, will you release Max 2 as soon as it's finished, or are you gonna wait until Madness Day?
Depends when it comes out. I would rather just get it out immediately. But if it's like a week away from Madness Day, I'd rather just wait and make sure everything's good. How I work on scenes, I try to have a workload to where I get as much core progress done as possible. By core progress, I mean like the key animation in a scene, like all the characters moving, because like that's what's really important. You can always just go back later and do the backgrounds and do all the art, but bare minimum, I need to have the layout for the background, any of the interactable objects, and the sprites for all the characters, and then I animate the entire scene. Besides, like, you know, I do effects later, I do the feet later, just what's completely necessary for characters to get to A to B to keep continuing the flow. And that's why I'm gonna be showing off some scenes of Premiere later for the meat sector and the residential sector, you're gonna notice like a lot of people missing feet, body parts kind of disappears. Not really a lot of effects, but it's just because I focus on doing the animation first. And then I kind of do like an art pass over the scenes after I'm done animating them, where I do all that other crap.
Yeah, there's also a similar question to before coming in from OK001 saying, will the redesigns be released for the public or keep being private?
No, I'll release everything. And
Yeah,
if people don't,
like,
and if people don't want them released, I'll make sure to release them even more.
I guess I'll like piggyback off of that question. Say like, is it going to be the actual movie FLAs you release or sprite packs?
I don't want to release the FLAs exactly because I've seen what people do with those, but I will release like the assets and content, and I'll give full tutorials about how to replicate these exactly.
Yeah, so like you got the tools, but not the finished product.
Oh yeah, because when people get their hands on the FLAs, that's when they start reposting it on YouTube and shit.
Yeah, we all remember what happened when Kree released his Nexus collab clip.
Well, not only just that, but people are gonna take, yeah, they'll take the FLA, they'll slap their own fucking webcam on it, and they'll be like, well, job's done.
It just makes me think of SoFlo Antonio. It's like, guys, this is definitely me.
This hybrid's like, man, I love ripping off robot heads. And then individual I'm not gonna name is like, I'm gonna throw my sword at him. And
speaking of Kree, by the way, is a question from him going in. He asks, Jsoull, do you ever get bored working on only one project? I'd kill myself if I had to work on a single movie for years.
That's kind of a depressing outlook, Jesus. Well, no, I don't really get bored on it because it's such a big movie to the point where if I get bored with one thing, I just work on another. Like, if I didn't want to work on the meat sector or security bridge scenes anymore, I would just move over and do sprites, or I'd work on upgrading the other sprites, or go to the other scenes I've already finished to do an art pass on them for the effects, work on more backgrounds for later, work on more concepts for later. There's always something to do. And it helps keep me occupied. There's many facets to this beast that must be tamed before it's released.
Just scrolling through the chat, seeing if there's any more questions because they're coming in pretty quick now.
Those bastards.
Oh yeah, what's the correct way to pronounce AAMO? Because that's the debate going on right now.
You just say ammo, like bullets ammo.
Yeah, it's not ammo. It's like munitions ammo.
Yeah. Funny fact actually. Originally, ammo was spelled ammo, like bullet ammo, and their logo was a bullet with a skull on it. But then decided I want to be a tiny bit more creative than that.
Most people would probably think it's literally just a munitions crate. If people saw that on something.
Basically. ATPs are a little stronger now, because they no longer got masks that are made of tinfoil. Their masks actually do shit, and even if they get a katana into their eyeball, they just pull it out like it's a toothpick.
A question coming in from Redstone Jack saying, what was your favorite Paradig Madness 2 part?
Shit. Probably... That's really hard to say. I'd have to say Gabriel's or Coda's. And I say Coda's because he saved my ass. Well, to be honest, a lot of people came in to save my ass toward the end of Paradig 2 because so many people were bailing. Coda came in, like, we had 2 weeks to release, like 2 weeks before Madness Day. I forget who I was working with, so it began with an E. He was working on the scene where Secret was going to be infiltrating the base from the top.
Eklamir.
Yeah, Eklamir. He was supposed to be working on that. And I even helped him out with the backgrounds and the sprites. And he's like, sorry, Jsoull, I don't want to work on this anymore. I have no inspirations. And I'm like, fuck. Because there's 2 weeks to release, and this fucking guy bails on me before even getting anything done. That pisses me off. Then Coda comes in and completely saves our asses. Animates one of the longest scenes in the collab single-handedly in that short amount of time.
In like 3 days or something, I think he made that.
Fucking crazy. Yeah, he saved my ass. Kree saved my ass. SM28 helped a lot with the FBF scene. Those two kind of co-opted the FBF scene at the end. That was supposed to be done by Alpha Nuva, but we know what happened to him.
He said Madness is gay and then left.
Oh yeah. It's sort of like having an idol, and then when you go to shake his hand, he spits in your face and kicks you in the nuts.
I mean, I don't really see it as that. I see it as him just, like, getting involved in a lot of the gay ops going on and being like, you know what, this is stupid, and then leaving.
The gay ops is the best way to describe it, honestly. Way too many gay ops.
I mean, in that way, I can't say I blame Alphanuva for
I don't
leaving.
blame him for the gay ops thing, but I do think that fucking me over was a little much, especially given I'm making a sequel to his project as like a genuine fan. I remember back when I was in middle school watching Parroting Madness one. I'm not fucking kidding. When I was like 13, I watched it. And I'm like, oh man, I can't wait for the sequel. It's gonna be so cool. And then like 8 years later, I'm actually making it. It's still such a weird feeling.
Also, there's another question coming in where I guess it's just clarification to what you said before. It's just like, just to clarify, you're definitely not making any more Madness-related content whatsoever, like no collab clips or anything after Max 2.
I might be doing a little bit of music that's Madness related, but I won't be making animations anymore.
Yeah.
I might I'll probably still like help my friends on their projects, but I'm not gonna be releasing anything solo anymore.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess sorry if you wanted him to join the test collab 7.
Yeah, I don't want to see, because the biggest thing I want to avoid is pulling a Kells ad and trying to turn my Madness identity into a career where I'm working on Maxification 7 10 years from now. I don't want to do that. That's one of the main reasons why I'm making Maxification 2 like a kind of self-contained super finale for the community that involves like all the fan characters, all these different, facets of other people's own take on the universe. Because I'd rather it just be like one perfect final movie rather than me dying slowly making Maxification 69. I want to pull.
I was gonna say a question coming in from Velvet Crayons saying, "Do you have any tips on sound design?"
That's kind of a mixed bag. It mostly comes down to just having good quality resources and managing them appropriately. But way too many people, like there's even memes of it. Way too many people depend on the Counter-Strike sound pack that Madness has had for like literally over 20 years now. And I remember we watched it together. I think it was like this guy was named Garple. There's like a helicopter that shows up, and instead of
Garpley.
Yeah,
Garpley,
instead
I
of
fucking
having a
remember.
helicopter sound, he took the swish sound from a sword and just like looped them really close together to the point where it just makes your ears bleed.
Listen, fuck you. I love Madness Absurd.
It's hilarious, but the sound design is awful.
No, but like the thing about Madness Absurd and like all of Garpley's animations is that like there are no other ones like it. It's almost mandatory Madness level in terms of like how crazy and unique it is in that aspect. Like Shilling Studios is a great guy though, by the way. Shout out to him.
I love Shilling. Unironically, I love him. I love him.
Yeah, he's actually
Madness,
he's a really good guy.
I love his
What?
Mandatory Madness is such a joy to me. Every facet of it is like a beautiful piece of art that needs to be adored and loved.
Yeah, but like he's actually like Shilling's actually getting into sprite animation, and you know what? I want to see him rise to the top, legitimately. Like I want to see him become like the best Madness animator with sprites eventually.
The strongest animator ever.
Also, this Sauce Boy asking if all the backgrounds so far are made in Blender and then drawn over in Animate.
No. So for like really, really complex objects that are like the megaplex itself, the giant superstructure with like that's so big it literally has buildings on top of its structural supports that fits an entire city on top of the city. Shit like that I use 3D for. I custom model it. I've had some help with from CRISPR with this. He did the 3D part for Parodic too. For shit like that, you kind of needed 3D reference to get it consistent. I mean, I could draw it from scratch, but I want it to be pretty one-to-one. I used Blender to get a perspective reference and a detail reference, and then I kind of rotoscope it in Flash later using the line tool.
There's a question coming in from Rodan91 as well, saying, "What's your opinion on Madness Death Wish?"
Oh, the game?
Yeah, I guess the game, like the old one.
The original one's okay. The second one was like an actual game though, and that was way better. Remember, it was like a side scroller. It was like pseudo Project Nexus before Project Nexus came out.
Yeah, and speaking of which, the next question is, what was your favorite part of MPN2?
Don't kill me, but I haven't played the campaign yet. I mean, I did I did like years and years ago, but it was It was so rough back then that I didn't want to touch it until it was completely finished, and recently I just haven't had the time. Like, to just clarify, I'm a huge Halo fan, but I haven't even played through the Halo Infinite campaign yet, just because I'm spending so much time working on this.
Yeah, like I've heard the multiplayer is really really good though in
Yeah,
Halo Infinite besides
multiplayer
the
is good.
progression.
The campaign is kind of giving me mixed bag feelings. I'll say that.
I mean, is it worth picking up though? You think?
Yes, I would.
Yeah, because like I heard, apparently Halo 5 was a massive stinker.
Gameplay was good in 5, but the campaign story was like if you gave a kindergartner crayons and told him to eat them, and then whatever colors he puked up, you used as a storyboard for the next scene.
Also, Nothing But Bread asked you if Armage will show up in Maxification.
He shows up in. I can actually show that scene.
Yeah, isn't he in... Oh, I thought he was in this scene.
No, he was in the security block, not the bridge. Bridge comes after the block. Wait a minute.
I guess while you're getting that loaded up, there's another one I could ask you, and it's when did you start production on Max 2? Asked by Les.
Well, I started a Max 2 movie before I even did Paradig. Like, so what happened was after Maxification 1, I was working on a co-op project with SM28. He released the scraps of what it was supposed to be, I think like a year ago. It was called Project Raid. And it was basically like my OC faction and his OC faction attacking like some mercs. Like not not PN2 mercs, this was before that. This is like just like our own little shitty mercenary faction that had like really crappy fucking art for them. And we worked on that for a while, but then we eventually weren't able to finish it because he didn't have the time to dedicate because he was stuck in high school at the time. So then after that I did regular Jailbreak, but in between those two, I was working on a Max 2, but it was like really, 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 really rough and shitty because this was like before I even did my I consider my part in the original Jailbreak to be pretty crap. I could have done a lot better, but I was rushing it and I really did not put the time into what I should have. Like that, it was about that same level of quality at the time. I only got like 1 or 2 scenes done and a couple backgrounds. Max 2 proper started work about 2.5 years ago, I'd say. That's when I was like really going balls deep, going full quality over quantity, and
Yeah.
I was really proud of what I was working on instead of it just being kind of like a fever dream.
I mean, I remember like you've been working on Max 2 like since before I even first talked to you. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't that long ago. Jeez.
Or either like
Yeah, because
around...
no, yeah. What the hell are you talking about? We were talking before, like you were with me on Paradig 2, Zapchon.
Oh wait, shit. Sorry, I've got it. It was like...
Yeah, you fucking
God.
stupid or something.
It was fucking 4 years ago. Give me a break.
Yeah, we were working together well before that. You're just stupid.
I am pretty stupid.
See this agent? He's like, please let me in. I just want to go see my wife and kids. And then he's like, wait, if I surrender, maybe they'll let me live. Now, I want you to question this, Zapchon. Do you think surrendering to this guy is going to lead to anything good?
If it's a Jsoull movie, probably not.
Well, yeah, this is kind of how it goes.
Also, wait, so you're gonna show them Armage? Because that's what the question was before.
Fucking... Before then... You'll be able to see this scene in Premiere later. There's Mr. Loser himself.
Yeah, if you stick around like till the end, he's gonna show you the preview. Cool. At least I think that's what's going on. I don't want to promise something that's not happening.
No, I will show off some of the movie, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Bluey. Don't question why people were still frozen in place. Reality just kind of broke a little bit.
Armage is fucking dead.
Gone
Also, okay. So Scorepack is asking if ammo was originally spelled like the ammunition spelling, what would it have stood for back then?
I have no fucking clue.
Simple answer.
I think it may. I remember I did like a really old news post where they had the bullet logo. Maybe it was like agency. Maybe the other A was silent, and then I just put an extra M because I'm just an idiot. I don't know.
Also, oh, sorry. It's another question from the Fetcher saying, will you make a tutorial on how to make sprites in the Max 2 style? At all?
Probably. I mean, I can do some time lapses with LK to show how we do it. Like, these guys obviously are not shaded. Like, they're flat color just because shading can always just come later. Because you can just go back and replace the symbols.
and it'll lag Flash a lot
Yeah,
if it's all finished.
Flash is my worst enemy. So another reason, you might occasionally, like when I'm animating, you might see people don't have armor on, or they're just like really slimmed down. That's because of how Flash works. Or I can actually give you a direct example. So let's say, let's give this guy, for example, just this ATP body. So these guys, you can see like this guy's fully shaded. He's got his highlights, he's got his low lights, and his gradients. Issue is, his selection box is fucking gigantic because of his backpack and all this other equipment making him blobby. So what I usually do is I go inside of him and I make a frame. Let's just make it like the first frame, just for shits and giggles, where I get rid of all the extraneous crap. And in doing so, oh no, that wiped all the other ones. I didn't want to do that. Let's do that, and then do, there we go. Just get rid of all that. And then you can kind of see the difference on the bounding box here. 1 versus 2. You see it gets slimmed down way more. The other reason I do that is because I guess someone at Adobe smoked too much crack, but there's no way to reset the actual rotation point of an object. Like if I move it over here, there's no way to fix it back to where it's supposed to be. Unless you just have to like really shittily eyeball it to roughly where, like there's no hotkey, no option. You cannot reset the rotation point of a symbol or graphic or anything ever.
Yeah, I mean you can double click the dot to make it go back to the pivot, but if the pivot's in a weird place, then it
Yeah,
fucks
look
you
at
over.
like the pivot's in the top left corner outside the bounding box for this for some reason. And that's just something else that's really weird. Sometimes just the pivot and the bounding boxes just go completely insane, and there's no way to configure them. So I usually do this. I make it into a symbol. I make one frame, the fully bodied armored one, and then that one as I animate are this. And then when the animation's done, I just make it so both frames are the armored one.
There's also a question coming in from Peanut Boy saying, how many OCs are killed already?
30 probably.
Yeah. I mean,
there's more than that haven't been that like show up but aren't killed yet, but they die later.
I mean, there's gonna be like 70 plus OCs from what I remember, right?
At least.
Yeah. And also, there's another question coming in from Triggered Happiness saying, what's your favorite faction in the MC series?
We talking Project Nexus?
I'm guessing it means including Nexus because that's where they're all at.
Yeah, because in the original series there weren't really factions. There's only like AHW and not AHW.
Yeah, like I'm guessing he means Project Nexus.
Okay, well I guess N51 because now they're canon.
Canon.
Yeah, now they're canon. So, and here they are. There he is. N51 face reveal. Except he looks all fucked up. See, this is what happens when you try to get anything done in Madness. You just get shot in the face. This guy thought, man, I have my titanium shield. It'll block anything except for high velocity anti-material railgun rounds fired from a revolver. And that's why he died.
My boy Dasker has asked this question like 3 times, even though it's a joke one, so I'm gonna say it anyways. Will Trollface be featured in Max 2? I think it would be pretty epic. I always watch Realm and I don't see my beloved Trollface. I hate it. I want to see Troll.
No.
Dasker,
you should be happy your character already died in Max 2, or else I'll make it so you got skinned alive and thrown in oil.
Wait, isn't that a good thing to you? Like, it means he gets a detailed death?
Oh yeah, good point. Well, sometimes we need more heinous things, like things that make the Holocaust look like a joke. We gotta turn up that dial a little bit.
Also, a question coming in from Popkey saying, who's doing the music for Max 2 now?
Oh yeah, so Fleetwire was obviously supposed to be doing it in the first place because he's been working with him for years, but then he kind of died. So I have a couple people I've been considering to have. One guy I've been in contact for a while. He's a dark synth artist. He doesn't have anything to do with Madness, thank God. And I'm in good terms with him, and he's my runner-up. And if he ends up getting shot or disappears overnight, I got like 3 other people lined up that are willing to work on it, and all of which.
I feel like he's been sort of underutilized so far, that guy. So you should definitely get him to do some stuff.
The guy I'm mentioning.
Yeah, the dark synth man.
Yes, he's quite cool, and he was very excited to work with me. So I'm happy to hear that.
Yes.
He released a new album lately, actually. It's really, really fucking good. And it just kind of like reinforced my decision to have him on part.
So yeah, it was him, and is there anybody else on the music team just now?
I've been working with Cintrix and Citrix. Fuck them for having similar names. They're
Citrix
helping.
is SFX though, isn't he?
Well, yeah, it's so Cintrix. They both do SFX, but they've been helping with some ambient stuff. They've been helping with a couple sounds I can't really nail myself. Mostly with the custom ones. They've been a huge
Yeah.
help. But they've also done a little bit of ambience too. But the movie, it mostly has tracks. Like each different sector of the movie will have its own theme song, and then it's all gonna be tied together into like a kind of OST. Instead of it just being like one song from beginning to end, each sector will have a unique kind of style to it. That's almost like its own unique song. Because if I look at it functionally, each sector is like making its own kind of short solo movie, just because of the sheer amount of custom content it was made for. Like every background has to be completely custom. There's so many custom weapons, enemies, posters. It feels like making a solo movie for each section of the film. Like the meat sector alone feels like it's big enough to be a solo movie. It's like 4 minutes.
Yeah, like it. I mean, you could have like a soundtrack EP or album at this point because there's multiple songs
Those bastards.
by various artists.
Various
Also-
artists.
Also, somebody asking, I mean, it's a sort of broad question, so I'm not sure if you could answer it accurately, but it's, how do you animate weapons piercing bodies?
I'm not sure what you mean by that. You mean like the effect for it piercing through their bodies, or do you mean like how they should move when they get hit?
Yeah.
Because usually I make it so
Cicero-
if the bullet's going fast enough to rip through their body and out the back, they should get flung back pretty far.
Yeah, like Cycrith the Squid, if you want to clarify the question, I'll read it out again in a second. Also, let me scroll down and see.
Scroll down and see if anyone else is saying something ridiculous.
I'm seeing questions being asked multiple times, so I'm having to scroll through those.
Those bastards. How dare they want to ask questions? It's going to show off a couple production materials in here too for shits and giggles. Just to show that there's stuff later on that's being planned as well. Give me a moment.
My chat's actually messing up a little bit, like it's only updating when I reach the bottom, and then like 20 messages appear.
Well, maybe it's because you have some sort of brain problem. Oh, Alwes just showed up, thankfully.
Oh, hey Leo, how you doing?
That's our man.
Yeah. My god, sorry about the delay here, it's just taking a second to readjust the chat.
Well, it's
read
obviously completely your fault.
I'll read out this one in the meantime. You think Mandatory Madness will ever get a sequel, Jay?
Isn't it being worked on now?
Not a sequel to Mandatory Madness, but Schilling is doing stuff.
I thought he was making a sequel though.
I mean, he's been doing stuff with sprite animation, like I said before.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
pretty
pretty
sure
cool.
I saw him working on a new intro soon. Unless it's supposed to be like down low information. I'm just saying it in public now.
Oh, here's a good question. Okay. From Jeramotes, the MC5 man himself, what would you say the best and worst parts of Animating Madness are, in your opinion?
Oh dear. Well, that's kind of hard to say. I would say the best part is when I'm actually able to like do big fight scenes with multiple people going at each other, and the ones I hate are having to do idle animations of people walking around and doing gestures.
Oh yeah, those suck.
Yeah, and that's because like how I do the scenes right now, they're kind of broken up between each of the sectors. Like each sector, there are small breaks, usually like 30 seconds or 20 seconds or so in between the bigger combat scenes for a bit of a breather. And all those, you know, there's usually a lot of people idle animating. Here's a design for some dudes that are going to show up later, courtesy of Big Badass B-Boy. These guys actually got turned into sprites recently, thanks to the assistance of some buddy boys. And they'll do a bunch of fun stuff.
There's also a question coming in from Laz saying, do you like making Max 2, or are you just finishing it so it doesn't go to waste?
It's a mix of both. I enjoy making things. Like, I am a creative person. I like working on projects. I like making things that people will enjoy. But it's also because I just owe it to all of you guys for sticking with me for such a ridiculously long amount of time trying to finish this stupid movie.
Yeah,
I feel like I owe it to you guys to complete what I promised to do. It is partially that, and it is also just because I just like working on stuff.
There's also a question coming in from Orhad Alum saying, Jsoull, who's your favorite Madness combat character?
Project Nexus? Are we talking fandom? Are we talking?
I think just any, like, officially, but any official content, I would imagine.
Well, Auditor definitely.
Yeah. I figured that would be your answer, because I know you're a massive Auditor fanboy.
Well, yeah. Gee, I wonder why the Auditor is inside of Abaddon. It's almost like I
Oh
like
my.
him. Almost like I like him.
He's inside you because you like him.
Okay, that sounds extremely inappropriate for school. You can't just mention people being inside each other. What the hell do you think this is, Kansas?
God.
Damn.
Oh yeah, wait, here's a good question. From Igarni SNG. Do you think, or not do you think, do any of the original Madness characters make an appearance in Max 2?
Yes. But not...
You want-
Okay, well, Auditor definitely shows up. He has a pretty big role. But the other canon characters, they do show up, but not in a conventional way, I would say. Like,
So,
I can show you what I mean right now, actually. Give me a moment.
Yeah.
Let me go to...
He's ridiculously planned this out, by the way, chat. Like, he's got a really detailed, like, as far as I know, he's got pretty detailed ideas for each character he puts in this movie.
Well, because I don't want them to go to waste. But I'd be lying
Yeah.
I'd be lying if I said I planned everything out in terms of compositions. I just kind of go with the flow. Like, I have like really key ideas and scenes that I know I want to do no matter what. And that's usually where Flash fights me the most. When I want to get to like really complex scenes or shots or effects that Flash was not built to handle, but I'm just kind of breaking its arm until it does what I want it to do.
I mean, when it comes to that with me, I don't really care if people planned it out from the start or not, as long as the finished product is good.
Yeah, so I have scenes that I planned from the start, but then when it comes to like the room-to-room composition, unless it's between specific characters, it's usually just I do it on the fly. Like here's good old Hank Wimbledon from MC6, and this is going to be in the section inside the museum. Now back here, there's going to be an entire display. You see some displays here. We got the old mag agents, but here in the background is going to be the actual train from MC6, like a replica of it. And on top of this table is going to be like a little miniature diorama of the path that was taken in MC6. So you're going to see like a little cliff with a train over it. There's going to be all little buildings and houses and bases from like 4, 5, and 6.
A museum.
Yeah. And Hank Wimbledon, not that this isn't his actual body, but it's just like a mannequin made as like a display.
Yeah. There's also a question coming in from that one guy from Mars saying, "What's your favorite Halo campaign?"
Shit, people are gonna kill me.
Oh,
Okay, now
this is gonna be a hot take.
Now to preface this, I'm such a ridiculous Halo fan. My first ever game I played was Halo 1 when I was 5 years old. Just put into perspective. Alright, and for every game that came out up until Halo 5, I always got the highest tier collector editions and shit. Because I was such a super fan, I would save up all my money and an allowance over the summer to buy it. I like Reach's gameplay the most, but I think Halo 3 and Halo 2 have the best levels. Halo 3 specifically, I think, really nailed everything on the, like, for me, even, like, back then when I was a kid, the biggest attraction for me for those games was just the alien environments, the beautiful vistas, feeling like I was going somewhere out of this world. Like, that's the main attraction for me. The gameplay was always secondary. Halo 3 and Halo 2 were really good. Halo 1 was good, but had way too much filler because of its rushed development. Like, Assault in the Control Room is great, but there's the actual outdoor sections are the only ones people like. Everything else is copy-paste corridors, 55 minutes at a time. You got that one room with the roundabout that gets repeated at least half a dozen times, and people just start blowing their brains out. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's also, I guess, without, calling anybody out, since I don't want to start shit with this question, but
Call people out.
What's
okay.
what's something common in Madness fan animations that you hate? Or I guess just animations in general, I guess it could include the original series.
I would say it's when, well, fan-related. It has to do with when people don't take risks because they're scared that people won't like what they make just because it's not like other animations.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
That's what happened with... I will bring this up as an example because it's kind of a cautionary tale. Prof 22. He started making... Like, he started out making pretty rough animations like anybody, but they were mostly Like, they're more original than anything he makes now. They made custom characters, custom backgrounds, and stories. But now all he does is make stuff that's identical to what Crinkles would make. And yeah, that's cool and all, but why would you just stop making custom content? Like, especially in a community that's been around for this long, I feel like handicapping yourself like that's just not really a good call. And there's so much room to explore and experiment and create that I feel like people who just tie themselves down to doing nothing except for like base madness content are just kind of not really looking at it the right way. Like, you know, people can make whatever the hell they want, but I'm just disappointed when I see people that have the capacity and have made better things just kind of regressing and being less creative over time, if that makes any sense.
There's also a question that you'll want to answer here. I think Jsoull
Right.
coming in from nicotinamide. I hope I'm saying that right. Oh wait, or is it nicotinamide? I don't know. But
That's a drug. You can't talk about that.
but he's saying, what's your opinion on your own complete sound overhaul series? Many people took inspiration from you and continued doing it for years.
Yeah. For me, it's sort of like I'm happy that people liked them, and I'm kind of shocked at the fact that it started an entire trend that still exists today. But personally, I just don't really feel good about that content I put out. That's kind of why I removed all of them. When I got to
Yeah.
the point where I was able to make my own madness movies, I look back on that. I'm like, you know, I don't feel good when people take my content. Like, unless it like the format of a sound overhaul can work, but the ones I were making were usually pretty shitty, and they're really minimal in the changes they made. But if you do like an entire sound remake from scratch, and it's like really, really, really good quality, then I'd say that's mostly justified. But I see a lot of people that just like kind of slap TF2 sound effects like on top of the movie.
Left 4
without-
Dead.
Oh yeah, Left 4 Dead. We got people like oh fuck,
I mean, I don't know if you want to call them out.
Pawat Wan Warren and Bantawatha.
Okay, well, okay, those are pretty safe ones to say. Never mind.
Pawat's animations, his channel, if you dare to look at it, you will enter a place that knows no concept of mercy or sanity. You will actively be killing yourself by watching those
Dude,
movies.
Pawat Wongwarn is like the OG anomaly in the community. Like, his channel feels like you're on an alternate plane of existence because of how much there is.
We gotta make him an SCP.
There's also two questions I'm gonna group together because they're pretty similar. What would be your favorite Madness fan OC, and what would be your favorite Madness fan movie?
Shit.
If you have them.
Fan OC. That kind of depends, because usually the best characters aren't able to get into their own movies. Like, I've seen a lot of people make really cool characters. Like, Raph made some pretty cool OCs, but he never does anything with them. I think he's working on a solo movie now to help remedy that, but for the most part, it comes down to people just... They have a really good idea to start with, and they don't follow through. Like, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I mean, I have my own movie I still need to finish. My Blue Boy.
I would say... Shit, I don't know. It's really hard to pick. I would say... Fucking... Back in the day, I would have said, Sethic, just because I liked his animation style, but I can't say that anymore.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess now I'd say Alpha, like not Alpha Nuva, but like Alpha Alpha.
Yeah, Korean men.
Yeah, Korean Alpha, because he has his own really unique art style, and his movie back a couple years ago, like when he first entered the scene, it was a very, very good addition to that Madness Day, and he entered the scene already having really good animation skill, having really good spriting skill. Like, he had his own aesthetic for his sprites from the get-go, which I really appreciated.
Yeah, he did do a few things where it was a bit rough at first, but then like people found him when he started making stuff that was just, it came out of nowhere and it was really, really good.
Like, he's genuinely very skilled, I would say that.
Yeah. There's also Jeromotus asks if all stuff like if things go like ideally, when do you think Max 2 will release, like an estimate?
So I can actually I'm actually just gonna show off the Premiere file because I don't give a fuck. Give me a minute.
Oh shit.
Loading. And mostly because I feel like I really owe it to you guys to be as transparent as possible because of how fucking long this thing's taken. Give me a minute, let me load this up.
Want me to read out another question while you're getting that ready?
Go ahead, because Premiere takes about an hour to open up.
Alright, well, Illyrix, creator of the Mag Agent Torture mod for FNF, is asking, why do you use Animate 2019 instead of 2021 or later?
Because, from what I've heard, they only get more unstable as time goes on. And I know I've heard a couple people say that 2020 is 1% better, but I've also heard that from just as many people that it makes them want to blow their brains out. I used to use CS6, and CS6, I will say, if you animate Flash to any degree, get CS6 and pirate it. Don't fucking buy it because Adobe does not deserve your money.
Arrested.
Like, I don't fucking give a fuck. You know, I could see, like, after I put out Max 2, oh, Jsoull, want to be part of our sponsorship program? I'll literally send them a photo of my own feces.
Fuck.
Because, holy shit, some of the bugs in this program have to almost be intentional to be as bad as they are.
Well, actually, there is one that particularly bothers me, and it's like if you've got two sprites in one layer and you're trying to animate them or something, like one keyframe at a time.
It's a nightmare.
Well, for whatever fucking reason,
it fills in all the open frames around it unless you click on them in between each keyframe.
Yeah, and that's in literally, like, as far as I know, that's in literally every Flash version, and it, like, even 2022. And it's like, it's such a fucking blatant error for any sprite animator, and I don't know why they've not done something about it.
Okay, now give me a moment. I'm gonna see if OBS is gonna cooperate with me here.
Oh, you're switching?
I'm gonna switch, add in. Oh yeah, for some reason it only works with. Oh, okay, wait. If I want to show up the actual timeline, I need to do a window capture. If I want to show up the actual footage, I got to do a game capture because it just doesn't catch it for some reason. We'll start off showing the timeline.
Oh.
Window class. Yeah, sure. Capture my cursor, whatever.
Got cheesecake ready when I watch this.
Goodness gracious. Alright, so here's the Max 2 Premiere file. All footage combined, including spaces between, like, there's a couple areas where there's like 10 seconds where there isn't something because that scene just wasn't rendered yet, or I didn't just get it done yet. Counting all that, it's about 19 minutes right now. Which, I don't even know how the hell that happened, to be honest. I thought I was at like 12 minutes, and then I put it together, I'm like, shit, I'm almost 20 minutes. That shouldn't be happening, but here we are. Now, I'm about at the midway point. Now, the scene you saw me animating with those ATPs, that's definitely like at the midway point of the movie. But the thing is, after that, things start picking up pace a lot faster. And most of the time, earlier into production, was just figuring out bugs and broken shit. So, ETA, probably next year, as long as I don't get, like, shot. I can guarantee that. I'll work a lot faster if I don't get into a car accident. That's a promise.
Or a bear attacks you.
Or a bear attacks, yeah, like what happened with me and Jackson.
Yeah, the classic.
Oh yeah, I almost got killed by a bear a couple years back. And you wouldn't be getting Max then. I can guarantee you that.
Like,
okay.
I don't remember how that happened. Like, wasn't it just Jackson and you were asleep in the car or something, and then Jackson just wakes up and sees a fucking black bear?
Okay, well, no, what happened was, we went camping in Pennsylvania. I was sleeping in the car, he was sleeping in the tent. And in the middle of the night, I woke up and I'm not sure why. I think it's because it was like really cold at night and we had like the ice box, all the food inside the car. So I cracked open the door a little bit to let a little bit more warm air in because I was kind of freezing to death. And then I sleep for a little bit, and then a little while later I hear like shuffling or some grinding near the car door. I'm like, oh, it's probably just Jackson getting up to go take a piss. So I open my car door, I'm like, hey Jackson. I don't see anyone in front of me. I look down, and next to the rear tire is a black bear. I then slam the door, and it runs off into the direction of Jackson's tent. And in that moment, I'm like, I just killed Jackson. I just fucking killed Jackson. Dear fucking God, I just killed him. And
Jackson Segel is dead.
Yeah, I'm having a fucking panic attack because I think I just murdered my best friend. I'm like, fuck, man. But no, it ended up running into the woods past his tent. I grabbed my flashlight, I started flickering it at Jackson's tent. He wakes up and he's like, Josh, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, Jackson, there's a fucking bear. And then I unlock the car door, and he dives into the back seat of the SUV. And we're just sitting looking out the windows for the next 6 hours until sunrise. We got no fucking sleep. It was horrible. It was horrible, but it was really funny.
And that's why Jsoull never went camping again.
Yo, we went to the fucking ranger station there. And we asked, like, oh, yeah, bears. Is there going to be a problem like ranger station? Like, oh, no, there's no bears. We haven't had a bear attack in 5 years. And then that happens on the first fucking night. Ridiculous. It was awful. It's awful.
In other news, Nothing But Red asked, will Mercs appear in the film?
No, okay, well, kind of. Well, you see, okay.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I've not seen any Mercs yet.
There aren't Mercs. The Mercs existed at some point, but they aren't the Mercs as we know them now. You see this dead guy? This dead, like, surgeon-looking dude? Basically, Max 2 takes place in a bit of a offshoot timeline after MC10, where instead of 11 and all that other shit happening, it's like everyone died at the end of 10, Hank's dead, Sanford's dead. Everyone's dead. And after that, Nexus Core rose to power, and the Mercs did exist somewhere along the line, but instead of becoming like militant factory workers, instead they were absorbed by the Nexus Core and turned into meat workers to work in the meat sector. Which is, meat stands for matter, energy, and transport, because they work on the refineries built into the superstructure supports for the Megaplex, and they produce all the food. So they went from manufacturing weapons to manufacturing food and energy, which is still kind of in their MO, but they're not militarized anymore. So they exist to a certain extent.
Yes. I got my own question this time, and it's Nuggets asking if there's any insight as to why the Maximum Ninja collab was cancelled, and I can answer that actually, because
I don't know anything about it.
Well, yeah, because like it's the Maximum Ninja collab that Novahead was hosting, and it's like, a lot of people have actually been asking about that, so I guess now's a good time to clear it up. Basically, just, you know, when Nova first started getting into Madness, that was the first collab he was doing, and, you know, it was pretty smooth, though some parts were a little jumbled just due to, like, organization and stuff, but there was a lot going on in his life and whatnot, and, you know, life basically got in the way, schedules, other projects, and all that, so it was kind of just like, we didn't have enough time, and there's other projects we'd all moved on to by the time we did. So we decided to just like stop doing it. It was a fun thing to work on though. Like I'm still glad I did it. And Nova's a fucking awesome guy. So like, you know, please don't keep asking him all the time, because it's being asked about a lot. It's just, yeah, that's the easy answer. Just schedules. That's the reason it didn't get finished.
Now, just to check real quick, guys, I'm gonna play a short section of this, and let me know if the sound's coming in. I'll wait like 30 seconds to see if it is or not. And then if it is, I need to turn it down a little bit for myself because it's so loud I'm about to go deaf. I'll be showing off the most of the meat sector, which includes the scenes that have a bunch of unfinished shit because I'm a bad person.
Also, Fall of Helios is still in production, just under different leadership now. The person who's asking.
Goodness gracious. Okay, you guys can hear it? Good. Okay, so I'm going to play this section of the movie. Ready for some hardcore spoilers? Are you ready? I'm talking to you, Zapchon.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
Great, here we are. If it loads, that is. Jesus. Now, this takes place around the middle-ish of the movie. We got Spaders, SM28.
Yeah, the whole gang.
Looks like he needs a hand. Get it? We got Kel Solid. We got Treo, P3 Loser, Shoot the Cheese. We got, who the hell's this blue-looking guy? Looks like he's a loser. Scream and cry.
Cope and seethe. It's hard for me to respond to what you're saying because the stream's delayed for me.
Good.
Here's Johnny.
Now, this next scene is missing a FBF sequence. I was originally working with Omenakeru, but then she couldn't work on it anymore. So it's like a 10-second sequence where it's like some weird Blender image that has broken outlines, and that's basically what's going on. But
Shout out to Omena.
Shout out to Omena.
Really cool person.
That's what they all say. In reality, she actually eats stale corn from the bottom of her toilet bowl.
Also, since somebody asked in the chat, Treyo is actually still around. He's just like, he's making his own solo from what he's told me. So, you can stay tuned for that.
And this is how losers die. Oh, isn't that just delicious? And that's most of the meat sector for you. Fun stuff.
Yes, the exclusive preview.
Yeah, and don't worry, Sethic does die here very, very thoroughly.
Don't worry, we killed his madness OC.
Yeah, he won't come back anymore. You get to see his head fucking explode. And then he gets tossed into a meat grinder, and then he gets turned into a... Well, actually, I'll just show you that part. He gets tossed in the meat grinder, and then... gets turned into a hamburger. Oh, isn't that just delightful?
Also, Jay, I'm realizing it's like, well, because I'm at a different house right now, I will need to take a leave in 15 minutes, so shall we bring in the other boy?
Oh, I say so.
Let me add him real quick.
Add him, and make sure he's so terrified. Madness isn't even a job anymore. It's just something that haunts his every waking moment.
Apologies to the chat if you hear Discord sounds from this, by the way.
Here comes the A to the Wes, also known as an Aid Wes.
Hey, yeah, it's Leo, always Chevernez.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, God.
It's too loud.
I gotta turn you down a little bit. My ears are ringing.
Sorry.
My eyes are bleeding.
What an entrance!
God.
Dude, sweet. Oh,
all right. Hi, Always, good buddy, old pal.
Howdy, man.
Always is a cool guy who's been a huge help with effects in the movie because I can't do effects for shit.
You should show off that big explosion he did if you want to.
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, I do want to show off some of the residential sector, then I'll show off... Because we actually did a lot of work together in the residential sector. And then I'll show off the big explosion in the security block. And then for the rest, you guys are going to have to wait.
Oh, man. It's so sick.
Yeah, this is the main man, Always really fucking cool guy.
Oh, thank you. But dude, you guys are not ready for this movie when it comes out. Like, it is gonna be the best Madness movie ever. I'm serious. Like, up there with Mandatory Madness, dude. Like, the best.
I can't do better than that.
Sorry.
I can't do better than that.
You can't compare it to... It's really close, but I think Mandatory Madness is still a bit better.
It is really good.
Well, wait till it's fucking finished before you start saying it's good first.
I just gotta start jerking him off a little bit.
Grr.
Just a little bit, just the tip.
Don't touch me.
A little bit, yeah.
That's inappropriate touching.
I don't need to polish your head anymore.
Yeah, Raph already did that when he visited you.
Okay, enough with the entendres. Calm down. Okay.
Alright, sorry, I got a little excited.
Deep breaths.
Yeah.
Now, Always helped out a shit ton in this scene with a bunch of different crap. Now, again, I do need to preface, you're going to see a bunch of weird stuff, like people's heads disappearing, people kind of phasing in and out of reality, like they're falling into the back rooms or some shit. Just remember, you're the one who's crazy, and the movie is actually perfectly fine.
I'm gonna scroll through the chat. Thank you.
I love how you incorporated 3D into it. Like, it looks really natural.
It was a pain in the ass, but I think we accomplished
Yeah.
many beautiful things.
Oh boy, here's some explosions we made coming up.
Tink, tink, true.
Legitimately, like, the cinematics are something I've not even seen in a Madness movie yet.
I know. Like, up with Dark Signal stuff, dude.
Dark
Yeah.
Signal, he was definitely an inspiration for some of these compositions, I'll say.
Yeah.
Wasn't he part of like the creative direction in some of this as well?
For N51's choreography, yeah, he helped with that. But I came up with the actual scene compositions. For the scene where you see the guys in the Nexus tank getting thrown back from the force of the shell, that's partially inspired by there's one scene from the Ghost in the Shell anime, I think the second season, Standalone Complex. There's a shot where Saito, the sniper, fires through a helicopter cockpit. It does a quick cut inside where you see the bullet hit the dude in the head and exit out the other side.
Yeah, I remember Ghost in the Shell. It was pretty good.
Ghost in the Shell.
What I love the most about like this movie so far is just like the scale of all the battles are so cool.
And the
You get these
floating
massive
heads and weapons that
environments.
shouldn't be there.
Oh yeah, that part also helps. But just
Yeah,
like the
but,
massive environments with all the dudes around and like it's so cool because by the end of the scenes like you can like see like all of these bodies and stuff just piled up everywhere and it's just
Yeah,
like, everything's
it's not-
destroyed.
Well,
There's
I
not
wanna-
much,
oh god,
there's
it's
not much
playing
that
over to the
matches
next section. Give me a minute.
Oh no.
Well, it's already
Yeah,
just,
see this.
it's actually just looping back to the meat sector, so it's not good
You
shit.
can't see this.
I was going to say that the fucking there's not much that matches it in terms of scale except for Black Berserk.
Black
Yeah,
Berserk.
Black Berserk. That's actually my favorite part of Black Berserk. Is just I love like the scale of the battles. Like that's what I thought was super cool. Is
The
where, like, you'd have these
bada bing-
scenes
the
where all the
bada bing,
guys were like
bada
really
boos.
tiny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
like
think
they would have these scenes where all the guys were all little tiny dudes and just this massive environment. And it's like I don't even know how you animate that in Flash. Like,
yeah,
that started freaking
I
out.
guess they crashed
Yeah.
just as much as me. So
Yeah,
I'll show off a
massive
little bit of
respect to
the
Black Hole.
I'll show off a little bit of the museum and I'll show off a little bit of the security block for you guys.
After that, I may need to get going.
Run away and
Uh,
never come back.
Ugh.
If you even dare try to show up here, Jesus fucking Christ, I'll snap your neck like a fucking pretzel.
Finally.
Oh, I see how it is.
Yeah.
You're one of those
I'm
fetish
expecting
freaks.
that.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia, Papa Pia. All this
We're
bullshit over
expecting
here.
that.
Goodness. Well, thank you very much for being on stream, though, Zaptron. You're a huge help because I haven't really done
Yeah,
something like
man.
this before.
Yes, no problem. I mean, always will be just as entertaining, if not more. I'm sure those of anybody in the
is-
chat is thinking.
That is a lie. Zaptron
Okay,
is the most
always-
entertaining person I know.
Listen, well, you're the most entertaining person I know, motherfucker. So there you go.
Well, I don't know why you're lying to your audience here.
Lie to
Maybe it's
everybody.
Jsoull's audience, but
Oh shit, never mind.
never mind. It's time to lie to them.
I actually appreciate
Yeah, this is a good time. Thank you for having me. I need to get to bed because I don't want to wake up my family right now. So
I
will
hope
see you
I
all
hope you
later.
don't wake up. Okay, honestly, I wish you good sleep,
should
get
be-
good rest, and I hope your
Mm,
electrical
yeah.
problems are solved.
Yeah,
Yes.
the fuse box crapped out, and that's why I'm at my family's house.
I don't know.
He's got wire goblins.
Yeah, I know. Mena's over there eating your like
No.
electrical wires.
I'm gonna get out of my walls.
Get out of my walls.
And apparently Darren
Anyway.
Madness is drunk as well, so that's just delightful.
Dude,
Oh, that's
hell
all.
yeah.
That's it. That is
I
the
love
most Darren
Darren.
thing I've heard all night.
Love Darren.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll see you fellas later.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Hell yeah.
And now it's just you and me.
Yes.
That's just delightful. Well,
Oh, yes.
I'm glad that
Alright.
you're here because you're a cool person.
Thanks, brother.
Coolness. So basically what happens is, as the movie progresses, both the enemy factions get deeper and deeper into the structures as they work their way up towards Phobos. And this area takes place within the commercial sector, which is like one of the last public sectors. It's like where all the giant, you got like superstores and shit, a bunch of shops, trams, tram rides and all that. Advertisements, gift shops. If you want to buy a Phobos plushie for $3,000 US.
Hell yeah.
Because this is how it works. Inflation in the future is going to be like that, man. Especially if we're still using the dollar.
Dude, I love inflation.
Who doesn't? And of course, in the commercial sector, we get to see the museum. Couple fun things in the background, but extremely unfinished. Hank's car from MC4 will be here as well, like the old Bentley. We get Super Mecha, we got Pez, we got ATP, whatever. I forget his fucking name.
That guy, yeah.
Not 505, it was the other dude who's like a green ATP. We get that Omega dude, but he's kind of hard to recognize because his mask design was very heavily iterated on.
I really love like how you interpreted all the sprites of the characters, like instead of just using the default ones. So
Well,
I don't know, it's really cool. It all has this kind of art style going for it.
using the default one would be super losery though.
It would be turbo lasery.
Because those sprites are
kinda
over
like
20
improved
years
design.
old.
Whoa!
I
Yeah.
feel like an old man remembering how old fucking Madness is.
Dude, seriously, it almost is 20 years old.
Like
right?
I'm already bald, so it's like I'm already an old man.
Oh man.
And it turns out I'm actually in a senior care home right now, but I just don't know it.
You just don't even know it. They
It's
don't let you
just-
leave these walls, you know.
Oh, it's so abominable, so abominable.
Abominable, yeah.
The Abominable Madness animator. Goodness. But yeah, Always has been a huge help with effects, especially. Most of that goes in towards what scenes I showed you guys, residential sector. And then last one I'll show you, last bit of footage before we get back to animating and showing off some more production shit, is the explosion with the security block, which was a pain in the ass, but was fun.
Mhm.
Boom. Just delicious.
Waiting for it to show up on my end.
You have to wait 30 days. No more, no less.
It feels like it.
This is how it goes. I'm not sure why there should be that much of a delay. I said it so there shouldn't be.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's just how streaming be, I guess. But it is bizarre that you can share your screen on like Discord and have it basically fucking instant.
That is
like,
pretty
You have
cool.
all this actual infrastructure for live streaming, and this still has like crazy latency. Oh, there's the explosion. That took a
But-
while.
Bluey.
Nice.
We need to show more innocent people exploding, or else it wouldn't be a Madness cartoon.
That is very true. Have like a bunch of gibs flying around and bouncing around.
Yeah, I'll have like little
bouncy
bits of
balls.
concrete. I gotta do the fucking burns on the ground for that.
Dude, yeah.
When I do the art pass, I'm gonna have to nail all that right now. I'm just trying to get done as much animation as possible.
Yeah, I might be able to help you with that, like adding some like the scorch and like cracks and stuff.
Cracks. Don't step on a crack, or you'll break your data's back.
Oh man.
I remember a Billy and Mandy episode did that exact thing.
Dude, Billy and Mandy was such a good show. Like the writing is so funny, and I just did not understand any of the jokes when I was younger. But like I watched through it again recently, and it's like it was just so good.
As if you're meant to understand anything. That was your first mistake.
I guess that was, yeah.
Time to make a separate version of these sprites without all the equipment, so I can actually animate them without the giant bounding box. Much better. Now, Always, you're a bit of a guru with Flash. Is there ever a way to reset the pivot point to the center of the bounding box instead of it just going off to the corner?
Yeah, I know. Okay, well, I know you can reset it to the top left corner. I'm not actually sure if you can reset it to the middle.
Because the top left corner doesn't really help, because why would I ever rotate it from there instead of center of mass?
It does actually help.
If it like flew off into Mars, yeah, but for actually animating it, not so much.
Well, the thing is, Flash is just it's an interesting program where it's been like used, like, you know, since like the 90s or whatever. It was made to make little interactive things on your website, but like it's been used in like ways that it's never meant to actually be used. Where like originally it started out as like, well, like I said, like for little interactive things on websites and stuff, and it's like made in such a way where it solves a problem back in the 90s where like people had faster computers than they had internet speeds at the time. So like the solution to that Flash tapped into was, instead of having like an animation, which was a series of different frames, which the computer would have to download before playing. The benefit of Flash is that it was able to embed like videos like super duper like low
Compressed.
in file size. Yeah, and like because the thing is, it doesn't have to like create a new image every single frame. What it's able to do is it's just able to like move like the same sort of basic geometry around. It's like well, it's a vector software, and because of that, it's great. But the thing is, like, just years later, it's not really necessary at all now, at least.
Because
And
now the days of
it's just
piss ass internet have
weird.
kind of left us.
Yeah, and from a exactly, and from a more kind of, I guess, animator insider's perspective, it really sucks because it's become kind of like the the industry standard for animation software, and has been for many years for some reason, despite the fact that there are programs like Toon Boom, which are made by animators,
Objectively
for
better in every
animators,
possible way.
which is just objectively better in every possible way. See, the thing is, I promise you, if Toon Boom was easier to pirate and had like madness sprites already made for them,
I
everyone
got a
would be
legit
using
copy of
Toon
Toon Boom, and I played around with it.
Yeah.
The main issue for me is you can't make sprites in the same way you do in Flash. You can make like a symbol and then have all the layers within it.
Right.
It all has to kind of
No, you can do that.
You can?
You can do that. Yeah. It's a little how they handle a lot of stuff is a little different, but you can do that. Yeah.
Shit, I guess I'm gonna animate the rest of Maxification 2 and Toon Boom forever then.
Dude, I'll be real. Like, if people started using Toon Boom for madness, their brains would like literally explode. Like, that program is like ideal for that kind of animation.
Oh dear.
Like, I've considered making like a madness rig at some point. You know, one thing that's something that's really incredible is if you ever look into it, it's like people who make rigs for Toon Boom where like the level of complexity you can go is like insane. Like, you can have like, I don't know, you can have these rigs which have like inverse kinematics where like the knees automatically bend, and have like you could draw a bunch of presets for different angles and then like rotate the head in almost 3D space and have them switch to the correct angle and have like the rig assigned to each. I don't know, it's crazy, but it's really cool stuff. Sorry, I kind of went on a tangent.
I don't mind tangents because Toon Boom is an objectively better program. Because even though
I
I barely
love-
know how
I
to
love
use
that
it, it
stuff.
sure. Even though I barely know how to use it, it sure shit hasn't crashed yet.
Oh,
Like
yeah, dude.
Flash. My main issue with Flash is the lack of stability by far. It's just like it's been kind of become a meme how much it crashes and how many times
it is-
people like lose their
yeah.
work.
Notorious, which is hilarious for a software which you have to be like,
It's supposed to be
industry standard that-
professional too. Like this
It
one
is
kind of
supposed
worries
to be
me.
professional, and like you are subjecting people who use this every day, like for a living, to like the most stupid bullshit ever. Oh, here's a fun fact. I don't know if many people know this, but so I'm actually a part of the beta tester team for like new Animate CC releases, because I'm a bit of a power user. And
Ew.
I know, pretty gross. But and here's some fun insight about how like blatantly incompetent Adobe is. Here's a fun fact. Guess how many people are hired to work on the Animate CC team?
A dozen.
2 people. There are 2 programmers. For the ever since they rebranded to Animate CC, basically since CS6, there's been only 2 people at Adobe hired to program for this software.
I think that really
And I feel
says a
so
lot.
bad for them.
I think that says a
because
lot, man.
The amount on their plate is insane. Like you have to fix bugs like from like this base of a program which started out made in the 90s for a purpose not even meant for this, and then just like years and years later, just more and more shit just gets like duct taped onto it, and it's like a lot of these problems are just like so core to the software itself that to fix it you'd need to like uproot the entire thing.
Yeah, and they don't have the capacity or time to
They
do
can't.
that because Adobe's pushing them to make these new releases
They're
every couple of
screwed,
years.
yeah. So that's why all the releases have just been like dumb shit. Like they've just been like, oh, here's a little button now in the top right corner of the screen where you can quickly publish your video and put it on Twitter automatically so you can break your NDA. Like, it's just like dumb stuff.
Isn't that
One
just
thing that's funny.
isn't that just quite
is,
cruel?
It's quite cruel. I feel bad for them. Use Toon Boom, but outside of another thing is like the only good features that have been added. And actually, that's not true. There is actually genuinely good features added in Animate CC, and that's why I use it over something like Flash 8 or something. is there's a couple of good features that genuinely are like crazy useful, like the layer parenting, like game changing, like genuinely. If any of you guys here use like Animate CC and have not tried layer parenting, your like brain's about to explode. Like it fixes every problem you've ever had with simple animation. But outside of that, they fixed the brush tool a lot. I mean, like, cause just the simple fact that it's I mean, it's still janky, but it's paired to the zoom, which like makes it like infinitely better for line art. And what's funny is one of my favorite features they've added that only I really like is something they literally just like ported over from the Illustrator CC course source code. Like they just ported it over their like not Illustrator, sorry, Adobe Fresco, which is like a new program they're making. They ported over this brush engine just plopped it into Animate CC, and like it's just infinitely better than the one that's already in there. So I don't know if you have it in yours, but like in some of the newer versions, they have something called the Fluid Brush Tool, and it's literally just like a brush tool ported over from a different software, and it's like.
And that explains
really
why
good.
that's why it works good, because it's not Flash.
Exactly. That is the exact reason, which is really funny. And you can do some cool like parameters and stuff with it, where you can like kind of assign it to like the width to the velocity and a bunch of other stuff. It's pretty neat.
It's kind of funny because I assume that, like, when I made my assumption of a dozen, I thought that would have been a ridiculously low number to work in a program like Flash.
Yeah,
and then you tell me,
literally 2 guys.
oh, not even half of that. No, literally like two fucking people.
2. It's 2 people, and it is just depressing, dude. Like it's oh, I will say shout out to I was about to say shard out, Jesus.
What the hell's your problem?
I know, I'm fucking menace. Shout out to my friend Ninja Charlie. He's not like sorry, let me get my words right. He's not really part of the Madness community, but Ninja Charlie is like a super talented programmer, and like the only dude in the world who knows how to program like using this really old language called, I guess, like Flash JavaScript or some shit. Where it's like at some point, like when they're making ActionScript 3, they implemented this language which lets you like kind of like a scripting language lets you interface like with Animate itself, called Flash JavaScript, and no one in the world knows how to use it, and like all the documentation for it's just gone. But this my man Ninja Charlie, he knows how to use it, and he's been literally just writing these like plugins for Flash which just implement features that should have been in the program since the start. Like he's just single-handedly like making it good. It's pretty awesome.
That's pretty cool. Now, always, I do need to completely shatter your hopes and dreams.
Oh yeah, you gotta answer questions.
Yeah, can you please look at a couple questions from
Please shut the fuck up.
No, I love this is a good conversation to have, and it fits within the stream. But people have been asking questions. They're like, please, Jsoull, answer me, please.
All right, let's see. What was the last thing we answered? All right, let's see. We got from Cristobal Canquiniano. What is the approximate ratio of N51/AAMO deaths versus the Nexus/OC deaths?
I could definitely say that I can say the Nexus isn't doing good.
They're not doing good. They're like worried about if it's fair or not.
It's not
fair?
No, it's not fair. It's not a fair fight. That's why they lose. That's why Nexus loses.
Yeah. Damn. Alright, let's see. Happy Days asks thoughts on MPN story mode, arena, and its potential future.
Well, I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I haven't actually played campaign or story or arena yet. So don't kill me. Don't kill me. But I just haven't had the time to play it yet because I've just been working on this shit.
Yeah, that's cool. I've just played through the campaign. I haven't really played through arena mode yet, and I tried to go in completely blind to it because like I just never really played the campaign while I was in like early beta or anything. But I really enjoyed the story. I thought it was cool, and I'm just like I kind of like how they connected it to the story of like the actual cartoon, or rather gave the cartoon an actual story by recontextualizing it in the game.
Story.
And like I thought it was cool, like little flashback sequences and stuff. Like it's not like Madness like is known for its story. Like I'm sorry guys, I don't understand why people care so much about its story. No offense.
Story. Well, you see, if you don't craft a story, that means it's a Madness animation. You can't do that.
It's madness. It's just insanity. But I mean, like, what it has, That's a story in its own way.
Deep
But I do
lore.
like what they did with it. And I will be definitely playing any DLCs that come out for it because I had a lot of fun with the campaign. Wait, okay. Let's see what else we got. Is dissonant energy gonna be used in Max 2?
Ew, dissonant energy. That's a quick way to get like an STD, man. Listen, here's the deal. So Maxification 2, I'm mostly theming it around the conventions of classic madness, so improbability drives, parties falling from the sky. I think Project Nexus's story and the dissonant stuff's pretty cool, but I just prefer improbability drives more than purple goo energy.
It's fair.
So that's also why mercs don't really show up in the conventional way. It's why you're not gonna be seeing like fucking what's that big boss? Oh yeah, Gestalt. You're not gonna be seeing him.
Yeah.
There's other mag agents, but not Gestalt. Because other agents are cooler. I said it. That tusked bastard looks like he's out of a bad cartoon. Like he showed up out of He-Man or some shit.
Man.
What is that, too cruel?
I don't know, man.
I'm gonna put tusks
Alright.
on this Soldat and I'll call him Gestalt and I'll paint him purple.
Maybe I'm reading these wrong, but I don't see many more questions. If anybody got some questions, just drop them in the live chat.
I mean, we were talking for about 96 minutes, and during that, I'm pretty sure people might have asked
That's true.
questions.
Okay, you're right. I don't know when the last question was we answered, I guess.
You
but-
son of a bitch.
Here's a question. When will Abaddon appear?
He appears in like the final act in the movie, but he's foreshadowed prior to that. It's not like he shows up coming out of a toilet stall wiping his ass.
Damn it, you should.
I'll do it. I'll do it. You know what? I'm gonna completely
I'm
restructure the
imagining
entire
a scary
movie.
scene. There's like a little agent dude. He's like taking a shit, and then suddenly he like looks down, and like a hand just comes out from the toilet, and he's like, "Oh God!" He grabs him by the dick and like.
Abaddon emerges from the
sucks him in the
plumbing.
toilet.
No, like you know that one
He
Iron Man
emerges from the
movie.
toilet.
You remember the Iron Man movie where like he's able to assemble his suit from across
Yes!
the world piece by piece? It'll be like that, but like
Exactly.
each piece comes out of the toilet.
Each piece comes out of the toilet, and like fucking assembles like Lego pieces.
Yeah, with Lego sound effects from the video game.
Yeah, and then click, 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 click.
And then
Perfect.
the little, the ching when you get all the pieces together.
Okay, here's a question. How does the AAHW fit into the timeline?
Well, after Madness 10, they all kind of died. It's my interpretation. I mean, you see that last infantry rush towards Hank in MC10 when they get to the top of the elevator shaft? I kind of take it like that was kind of the last of their guys, because no one else shows up after that point to reinforce their boss. So I kind of imagine that was the last of them for the most part, except for like some extraneous elements somewhere out in the middle of the desert shitting themselves and eating rocks.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. What is your favorite genre of anime if you watch it?
I
That's
stopped
a fun
watching
question.
anime a couple of years back. I was mostly into it back in high school. I guess. Fuck, I don't know. Mystery, sci-fi. I liked Steins Gate a lot when that came out.
Yeah, I started playing Steins Gate at some point, but I never got into it. I should have.
You mean a visual novel?
Yeah, the visual novel, sorry, the not anime. I don't know, it all looks the same to me.
Damn.
I'm mixed. No, I'm kidding. I'm mixed with anime. There's some animes I really do like. I don't really care for a lot of modern ones, just because I think the art style is like really samey. But I love some anime a lot. Like I really love Cowboy Bebop, of course. Like Hellsing Ultimate, just because it's just fucking batshit insane.
Hellsinger Bridge.
I'm gonna fucking strangle you every time I mention this anime.
Hellsinger
someone
Bridge.
mentions
Hellsinger
I see
Bridge.
Hellsing, and it's like, it's yes.
What, there's
okay,
an,
it's
what,
funny,
what,
and
there's
it's
an
good.
original
It's funny and
anime?
it's
What are you
good.
talking about? There wasn't an
Yes,
original
it's-
anime.
What I mean is that it is not the same.
Yeah, everyone treats it like it's like the
Like,
real
that
deal.
hurts a little bit, yeah. Oh, obligatory. If you're talking to animators, Redline has the best animation in any anime ever.
Ever.
Answer fucking
Probably.
questions before I wring out your neck.
Oh, sorry.
A bunch of people were asking about like faction shit if you
Oh
scroll
yeah,
long.
nerdy shit. Okay, hold up.
Nerdy shit. I love nerdy shit.
I know, it's awesome, dude. Okay, so... what? Okay, what's with the weapon design philosophy you gave to the factions? N51 guns seem to all be militaristic and practical. Nexus guns seem to be pretty sci-fi, and AAMO guns are like a mix of both.
I can bring up the weapon sheet to show you. Max 2 weapons. There's also a bunch of really old shit in here.
Oh boy, you got the old Nerf guns.
Oh god, it's gonna crash. No, don't crash, please. 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 Okay, I think it's okay.
Alright, let's witness 20 years of Flash development in action.
Okay, save. Save just in case. It always stops responding whenever I open a file bigger than like a megabyte.
Oh yeah. It is insanity.
Jesus, okay, so for like weapon philosophy, yeah, for the most part, I base N51 guns, like N51 weapons, off of ones that really exist. They're usually like a bit of a remix from existing weapons. Like that's a 6 Sauer, that's a like a short-barreled snub-nosed Beretta. That's also I think a longer barrel Beretta that I based off that one from Resident Evil, like the remake for 2.
Right.
I'm based most of their weapons off of ones that actually exist. Nexus Core are mostly original designs that still look pretty usable for the most part. Like they look like weapons that can actually exist, but they have a particular aesthetic to them. They usually tend to have like really boxy slides and kind of like two-tone coloring, like white slides and then kind of darker color bodies. Except for the more exotic weapons, which is kind of all over the place, like the golem gun that fires these fucking 30mm slugs.
Sweet.
And ammo, they're more like full wacky, do whatever the fuck I want style. All mostly custom. Of course, the G11 isn't custom. G11 is just my favorite gun ever, and I of course had no choice but to make a G11 for ammo because I'm just a monster. I mostly based it off the existing frame, but kind of trimmed it down significantly because I tend to make my weapons a lot smaller. Because one thing that bugs me is like Project Nexus 1, the Spaz 12 is like tall as 2 people. And I try to look at it in like a practical way from within that universe. Like if you had to use a shotgun that was twice as tall as yourself, I don't think you'd be using it. So I try to shave down the size of existing weapons by getting rid of their stocks because no one has shoulders.
Oh,
and you see, in a way that
He's
almost,
really thinking about it.
in a way that kind of justifies the shitty aim everyone has because no one has shoulders to brace their weapons on.
Exactly, dude.
So it's like everyone's
awesome.
like, everyone might as well just be hip firing.
Dude, I guess yeah. Actually, I never thought about that. All right, here's a question, and I read it almost in your voice mentally. Since the questions boy isn't doing his job properly, I'll just ask this question again. Do you think the standards for new animators have raised a lot in comparison to the past?
I think they have, yeah. Especially, I mean, if you look back at like older Madness days, you can tell there's a very big divide between like then and now. Like nowadays, there's way more custom content, especially when it comes to like sprites and backgrounds. A lot of people are trying to develop their own aesthetics for Madness. Like I talked earlier, like Alpha.
Yeah.
Korean Alpha has his own kind of brush and sprite style aesthetic you can immediately identify.
Alpha's such a
And you got people like
good artist.
yeah, you got people like Tubster working on there's like
Raph.
Tubster, Wrath, Rush City.
Oh.
Like, you know, each of those has their own like particular aesthetic that you can identify immediately. And I feel like there's a lot more of that nowadays. Like back in like 2010, that was like really rare. But nowadays, more people are kind of taking up the mantle. I would say that the bar for quality has gone up and expectations have gone up.
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Well, you go first.
Okay, but like one thing I've just noticed with the Madness community over the years is that 99% of the Madness community just kind of like everyone just copies each other. So basically the level is always everyone's kind of at around a similar level where everyone's just like doing what everyone else is doing, and what happens is like every so often, every couple of years, you know, someone new pops in the community who like what they do is they do something slightly better, and then everyone copies them, and then the whole skill level kind of rises like that. And I feel like stuff is starting to get shaken up.
It just never stops.
Stuff is starting to get shaken up because I feel like there are more of those people popping up than there used to be, like who are trying something new for everyone else to immediately steal. But it's ultimately a good thing.
And I was going to mention, like, that's, like, what I said there was one of the main reasons why I was kind of disappointed in what Prof 22 has been doing lately, because he used to do more original stuff, but now he just kind of does only existing assets like Crinkles does, and I was just kind of disappointed. Like, you know, anyone can make whatever the fuck they want. I mean, it's their movie,
Yeah.
but it for me, at least like a creative
Mhm.
sense, it's just kind of disappointing to see that.
That's
happen.
my main thing with like a lot of madness stuff is like you guys got to stop being so terrified of drawing. Like here's the thing, it's okay if something is badly drawn. What matters is that it's actually being made by you. Like, you know, like you can make fan cartoons and use the sprites and stuff, and like it's cool, but it's just like I just feel like there's two parts to every like creative thing, and a part of like animation is that it's a you know it's a two-part sort of like creative thing where it's like one part's the art and the other part is how it's animated. So many people just focused on you know how it like technically moves rather than any sort of aesthetic things where it's like you can. I feel like people should just take full advantage of it and really make it your own. Like even if it looks bad, it's still yours. Like Mandatory Madness, like it has a charm to it. Like it has a distinct art style, even if it's insane.
That's why I
Like-
really like it.
I genuinely like it. It's like I don't even joke when I say it's like one of my favorite Madness cartoons because it's just very entertaining. And
I'm
like,
gonna
it's
fucking kill them all.
crazy. It's a unique experience you just do not get from any other like Madness animation. All right, so, all right, let me go on. Let's see. Oh, Jsoull, can you tell us about the underwater sulfuric acid execution? If you know, you know. I don't know.
Oh, so this isn't really madness related, but I played around a barrel trauma last night with some buddies, and we were playing with Scorepack, and he was being a dumbass, and he killed everybody on the station by injecting them with worms. And so for punishment, me and Bloney beat him within an inch of his life, and then I held him down as Bloney poured a bucket of acid over his face to
Holy
kill him
shit.
while he was still wearing his clown mask.
You see the little fucking like live leak logo here, and it's like, oh shit, something's about to go down. Dude,
I just imagine
by the
you
way,
hear
is
him.
that- Wait, I'm sorry.
Hmm?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I just imagine like his clown mask slowly melting away as you hear him screaming.
What game
It's
did
so
you say this was
horrible.
again?
Barrel trauma.
Okay.
It's like a
Because I
submarine.
didn't
It's
hear
like a
you when I said that,
submarine
and I was-
simulator.
Okay, what I was about to say is because that the way you're describing it, ever played a game called Space Station 13?
Yes.
Because what you're saying sounds exactly like something out of Space Station 13. Like, God, that's a.
Well, Barrel
That is a
Trauma
classic
was
one. Alright,
inspired by Space Station
that's
13.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there are very few games that have captured that. Like Space Station 13 is one of the few games that's like where they've thought everything out. Like a game where you can truly do anything. Like it's not, and it's crazy. There's not many games like it, just 'cause it's so much work to make a game like that.
Work.
All right, let's see. Yeah. Uh,
I gotta time this fucking soul lad thinking he's all sneaky by leaning down slightly.
yeah.
But he doesn't realize maybe I should take off my glowing red headgear if I don't want to be spotted in the firefight. But he has too much pride for that.
Okay. So this madness guy keeps asking me to remind you to start the Neo Tokyo back.
Oh, the music. Oh yeah, I can turn that back on. Give me a moment.
Oh yeah.
Neo
Okay.
Tokyo's OST is fucking great.
Yeah.
Let me start up. Well, we got the one album made by the same artist that's been newer. I'm gonna do that one.
We got Atomic Lemonic asking, when will Yelon, the Antichrist of Madness, show up, and will you save this stream? Because I want because I want to hear your opinion on the campaign again.
What do you mean fucking again? I said I haven't played it 3 times,
Alright,
motherfucker.
I-
If you ask
yeah,
that again,
well-
I'm gonna track you down and fuck you up.
I swear to God, I'm not dyslexic. I'm just, for some reason, I'm struggling to read that one. Like
Well,
it
I
just
don't
was not
blame you. I don't
processing what
blame
he
you.
was saying.
No blame.
I
is
was like,
given.
what am I reading? I don't know why. Alright. Okay, from Oblix, who is the most guy who helped you in Max 2? Really, how they write
Why
it.
do you say that in the past tense like it's finished?
Who is the most guy?
I guess like LK Gross. He's been a huge help to me. LK, I've had some other people. Fucking SM28's helping out now.
Mhm.
It's a team effort, I'd say.
It is, yeah.
Always has helped,
Okay.
obviously, with effects and shit.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
So there doesn't seem to be more questions, maybe? Oh, someone's asking if you have a public Discord server.
No, I don't. For Max 2, it's just like, it's a server with just team members on it and nothing else. So I hope that disappoints you. You never want to talk to me again.
Awesome.
Oh, I gotta fix the
Alright.
laser because it looks like he's about to shoot this guy in the back.
Ah, shit. Alright, there we go. Wait, no, someone already asked, the question was answered. Okay, were the Nexus core able to revive Phobos in Max 2?
Well, he never died, so he's just alive still.
There you go. Here's another one. Jsoull, have you played Plasma Burst? Some of
Oh,
your
that
weapon
old shit?
sprites
Yeah, back in like middle school.
Okay, so I guess you have.
I mean, yeah, it was fun back in the day. I don't play it right now. I heard like something
I don't-
really fucked up happened in the community. Like people were doxing each other over a fucking Flash game.
I don't know anything about that game. But speaking of Flash games, I don't know if this is old news to you or not. Do you know about Strike Force Heroes? That was it. They're Strike Force Heroes. They're making a new one, like a remake, like in Unreal Engine, and it looks really good so far. They've been like posting like updates like every month or so on this subreddit.
Does it look like
And,
it'll
like,
be the best experience ever?
It's pretty good actually. I mean, like it's the original Flash game, but like all the sprites are redone. It has like nice effects and stuff. It's not made in Flash.
So that's a
it's
huge help.
That is a pretty big help. I just searched the Plasmaverse, and I actually do recognize this game. And the reason why I recognize it is because I've watched, the developer has a YouTube channel that like nobody watches except for me and maybe 10 other people. And because I know he's making a new, because I recognize this game, and I'm looking at this, and I know for a fact he's actually making a new one. Because I've watched some of the videos involving it, like tech demos.
Mm-hmm.
I'll guess I can find that and show you guys. Because I'm like, oh wait, I recognize this.
But do you? Maybe it never existed.
Maybe.
Edgelord
Maybe you're
asked
right.
me if he wants to rub my head and get a wish. I'll make sure to rub the ashes of your body on your
God,
grandmother's
dude, that was
face.
epic.
I'll
Fucking
rub
Bazinga,
I'll
dude.
rub your fucking pet's ashes in your eyes.
Oh, I kind of. Okay, wait. Sorry, I read a question I liked, but then I realized just once before it. Hold up. Damn it. Actually, whatever. Let's read this. What are the other employers doing in Max 2? Like, what are they doing?
They're mostly hanging around sucking up souls in the meantime while the two employers that are in the actual world are just fucking around stabbing each other.
Yeah.
But all the employers do get to show up later, and they each have their own very characteristic showcase, I'll say. Like, they're not just going to be cheap color swaps or slightly different eye designs or slightly lower shades of red. They're each, like, very unique, colorful, themed characters.
Yeah. Here's from Baloney.
Baloney,
hey,
that
Jay-
bastard.
Oh, shit. Hey Jsoull, how would you personally feel about having more street tier type animations of fight sequences, where instead of overpowered OCs and baddies duking it out, they're more grounded?
Well, I mean, N51 and Nexus are more grounded. Ammo's kind of the guys that are doing the crazy shit.
Yeah.
So it's a mix of both. There are grounded battles, but like as the movie goes on, the scale goes up, and eventually people are firing Hadoukens out of their assholes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
From Nuggets, will the dude in Mandatory Madness show up?
yeah, I planned for that. Yes.
Holy crap. Dude, no, this is the best crossover ever. So now this is canon in both the Mandatory Madness universe and the Cringe Hank universe.
Cringe spank, more like it.
Yeah, baby. Okay, from Chronix, what's your favorite faction? Example, Nexus, Merc, AMO. And what's your favorite part of Max 2?
I guess I mean, if he's talking about like, well, I guess my favorite faction's definitely, I guess, my own, just because I like crafting and making all their shit and making them cool. I try to give them a pretty solid identity that stands them out from other factions, because a lot of people's custom factions are just like agents, but different color and different name. Well, I'm just trying to do something a bit more from the ground up. Even though they are themed on the HW.
Oh, sorry.
What?
Yeah. Happy Days asked a question which derailed the entire chat for a tiny bit. He was asking about the question of madness politics, and then people started like talking about like Hank being gay or something.
Oh, that fucking retarded shit.
It was like, all right, there's your answer.
For the people that are into that, you're not gonna be able to convince them one way or the other. So it's not what we're talking about.
Like I'll leave it at this. I don't really care. I mean, they aren't even human. Like, they do not physically have penises or vaginas. In fact, they look more like a penis than anything they have. They're like gray. Their absence of like skin tone or ethnicity. It's just like, I feel like it's weird, kind of like imagining. I guess maybe not. I don't know, like imagining them as
going out of their way
to say social things.
I think people going out of their way to hypersexualize them is just kind of disturbing.
It's like, and like the thing is, I don't personally care. Like, you can think whatever you want about these characters. I mean, it's cool, but it's just like at the same time, it's just like they're just kind of faceless, murdered vessels.
I only get bothered when people act like their Madness OC is some sort of like really special. Well, remember what happened on Twitter a little while ago with that Tricky variant? That fucking shit. That's awful. Yeah, that's awful.
That was so dumb.
Yeah, I don't like shit. Like I don't care about OC characters. If you pull shit like that, you deserve to like snort shredded glass or something.
Jesus Christ, I'm not going that far, but yeah. I mean, like, I don't care. Anyone can do whatever they want. Just like, but I will say though, you don't get upset about seeing a Madness character get killed, because, I mean, what are you fucking watching? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Madness
like,
is explicitly for violence.
It's called Madness Combat.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't. All I'm saying is, look, and I understand getting like attached to a character and stuff, but it's like at the same time, like, you can't expect a Madness character not to get killed. Like that's
like asking a bird not to fly.
It's yeah. It's kind of the part of the nature of it. So I'm just saying that, but all right, I'll leave it there. All right, let me skip ahead because I don't want to read that. Okay, this is a good question. From Gamos. Are you completely leaving the community of Madness after finishing Max 2, or are you still going to involve yourself in projects you find interesting?
Well, I'm not going to be like animating anymore, but I'll still like help people with technical shit if they need it. Like, I'm not going to abandon all the friends I made here, but I just won't be creating like solo content anymore.
That's cool.
That's just kind of how that goes.
Yeah. See, the thing is, you can never leave Madness. It always sucks you back in.
It sucks into my eyes, and it yanks back at full force.
Scary. Someone asked, how can you animate Madness Combat good?
You just practice. I mean, I'd say animating with sprites is easier than like traditional animation by a long shot.
Yeah, pretty easy, yeah.
But it mostly comes down to getting your arms around momentum, especially. That's the most important part.
It's mostly muscle memory. I'm coming from like a person. I have a background in doing normal.
Yeah, Always is an objectively better animator than me in literally every way imaginable.
Oh, thank you. But
I mean, I'm not lying.
Madness animation is different than normal animation. It's kind of a different approach. So, but like if we want to do specifically Madness, I would say like a large part of it is muscle memory and like just kind of getting used to seeing like spacing. And what I mean by spacing is I mean the distance between frames, like the position on every frame. Like obviously you can have someone say like when someone says like, oh, add more easing, they mean improve your spacing, in the sense that like don't have like really uneven spacing where it's like if you have something moving from point A to point B, you don't want to have a couple frames where like it's suddenly moving slower than it has been before. Like have things moving at the same rate throughout and then slow down or speed up and have it like, you know, kind of operate in a nice little mathematical fucking exponential, opposite of exponential. Whatever.
Exponential.
I see. I'm not very good at talking and like speaking. Sorry, I said the same thing twice. This is what I mean. Thinking and speaking. I can write stuff down really good. But all right. Let's see. Okay, Jsoull, what are some tips on giving the baddies/goons in animations more personality, so they're not just faceless, incompetent mooks that exist only to stand and get shot?
I mean,
you should just treat
the enemies the same way you want to treat your main characters. You want to give them something identifiable. You want to give them something unique. You want to give them something where if someone sees them, even out of context of the animation, they can tell who they are. Whether that's their color scheme, their equipment, something specific they do. Like Scorpack, he has his own custom faction, like crazy cyborg dudes, and there's like these units that have these spider legs built into their backs, and they move around with those. Like that's pretty unique, I would say. Stuff like that definitely works out. Honestly, just give them a unique element, that the same way you give your own OC kind of a unique touch. You want to treat them the same way, because they are a part of your animation and you're part of your world.
Yeah, I think just one thing that's kind of difficult with Madness animation is just because they lack a face, obviously, and they like don't have limbs and stuff. It makes character like acting really difficult, and that's like one of the main things that's different between like say Madness animation and stick figure animation, where stick figure animation is entirely pose based. Like you can do a stick figure animation that's at like 4 FPS and make it actually look pretty decent if you have really strong poses. But the thing is, and that's just because like a stick figure is just kind of the silhouette of a human body, and you're like you're really just pushing the body language to kind of emote things. But the thing is with Madness is kind of the polar opposite of it, where you for example, you can't bend the torso, there's no arms, there's no legs, there's no face, where like to like kind of show these different emotions is actually a lot more difficult. So generally like you convey things more through how they move rather than what poses they show. And that's kind of a part of the difficulty in like I guess giving humanity to Madness characters, where it's like
when they're kind of made to be disassociated from that by lacking a face.
Exactly.
And
They're not human. I think this is just me. I think Madness might actually be sort of disturbing if they looked like real people almost.
I bet.
If that makes like a part of like why it's just entertaining and just mindless violence is because like they're kind of human-like, but they're not really humans either. They're just kind of like these weird marshmallow murder vessels, and like I mean it's cool, but like trying to add like emotions and sympathy, it's like you need to be able to introduce more nuance into the characters in their posing, and to do that you're probably gonna have to break some of the conventions of Madness things. Like you might actually have to make the torsos bend whoa, or something like that. Just like little things, maybe tilt the head, or just study posing. It's probably posing thing helps get the timing right. All right, so let's see. From Bologna, do you think writing is a valuable skill to have in the Madness community, whether it's to make fanfic?
No.
I mean, yeah. Well,
I mean, if you're doing like
I think it's a silly
fanfic,
question.
I guess if you're doing like specifically for fanfic, yeah, but that's pretty
I just think
niche.
it's a little bit of a silly question, and I don't mean that in a mean way, but I mean it's silly just in the sense that it's like you're talking about like it's a fan community that makes like fan content, and it's like, dude, if you're a bitchin' writer, then like you're gonna make some really awesome stories that will be entertaining. If you're a bad writer but you're a good animator, you're gonna make some bitchin' animations that are entertaining. Like just play into like whatever you're the best at. And here's the thing: the best things come from people where you can like you get a good you get the best animator, you get the best artist. Best artist makes the best assets. Animator uses those assets, and they follow a story written by someone who's good at writing stories. And that's the beauty of collaboration, is you can like kind of pull together, like if you have good organization, the best parts of everyone in a team. But for the most part, I mean, like you see a lot of Madness animations lacks a good story, just because I mean they're just people who want to animate but they don't really know what to animate. That's why they're doing Madness. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just an easy way to like immediately have the process of animating without having to come up with a story or characters or anything. And that's just a large part of the community, is just people who enjoy animating but not as much that part of it. But I think there's tons of room for more kind of lore type ideas be introduced. I'm the polar opposite of that. I'm actually not like I'm not good at coming up with original concepts. I'm very good at like
Oh,
elaborating
God.
on stuff.
Okay,
But no,
here's
like,
another
I
example.
can't do it. Some people do.
Really quick. Here's another example of Flash twisting the knife, right?
Oh boy.
So ready? Here's my symbol, right? And I
Alright.
brought in the second symbol. Now these are actually the same one. I do the same where one frame has all
Okay.
the shit, one doesn't. So the same bodies. Now let me just swap this out with that one.
Oh, is it gonna offset it like a million miles away, or
Let's see
there's
where that
delay?
let's see where that landed. It didn't go anywhere. It's just invisible forever. And no, there's no frame on the inside of this where it's invisible. It's one simple frame.
I
So
do want to say there's like a 30-second delay, and you're not sharing your screen, so my only impression of the screen is from the
well, you'll
screen.
see it in 30 seconds. I click on
In 30
this.
seconds, I'll see it.
I click
it'll
swap.
Be crazy.
I switch to this one, and it just doesn't work, and it just isn't there, and it vanishes from the entire thing. And even if I select this layer, it only selects that, and there's nothing else.
It's bizarre.
Just gone. Poof. So instead of having to use the tools that Flash is made for, I now have to fucking jerry-rig a solution by putting the frame, like putting the symbol on top of where I want it to, which defeats the purpose of swapping them.
Dude, okay, I'll be real with you. You're making this a problem for yourself because you're not doing the basic shit of just fucking put all the angles in one graphic and
Fuck
set
you.
it to
Fuck
set
you.
it to single frame, and you just change the number.
I'll put.
You don't have to.
You don't even
that's
want
how-
to know what
that's
I'm
how
gonna
you
do
it.
with you. I'll
I'm
do
saying-
terrible things.
You're saying.
You don't
Dude,
even
like,
want to know,
graphic
man.
symbols are magic, man. You can just change the pose just on the fly, and it'll like have it be the same position and proportions.
Oh no, wait! It is here. It teleported and hid
Oh.
itself behind all
There
those
you go.
people.
See?
God,
Problem solved.
how about I puke blood instead? Because it still
I
didn't
like
replace
that.
itself in the same spot where it's supposed to be. That doesn't even make any sense. Oh, now it does? But nothing changed. You saw before I did that, and it didn't work.
When you get outraged, you sound like the fucking AVGN, and it's the funniest shit ever.
Well, I did grow
What
up
an
watching him.
assload of fuck!
Well, to be fair, he basically was my childhood growing up, so
Yeah.
he had a lot of influence
What a
on me.
legend. Dude, I love him,
Jesus.
man.
Yeah, I love him too. I met him in person actually a couple years ago.
I know, that's so sick. I remember being a kid, and that was like one of my first YouTube videos I saw was like the Bugs Bunny review where he like shits on his face, and I'm like,
Bombs
'cause I just
away,
like-
bunny bitch.
yeah, exactly. Because I just remember like being a kid and just like watching fucking cartoons or whatever. I've never seen anything like this before. I've never seen Bugs Bunny take a shit on someone's face, and from that moment I was hooked on the internet, dude. I was just like, this is it.
My favorite moment's definitely Bugs Bunny's birthday blowout. More like Bugs Bunny's birthday beating. He just punches him like 1,000 times.
Yes, I love it. So people just don't get it, man. It's so good.
Oh,
Okay,
just
let's
delightful.
see.
All right, we're gonna keep this
Okay,
going for about probably like another hour. Then we're gonna wrap it up, and I'll have some closing thoughts. Unless people want me to stream until I starve to death. But that implies I
be
even
pretty
need
cool.
food to live.
That's true. I don't think he does. I think you're like photosynthesize.
I photosynthesized from the LCD light on my screen.
Yeah. Dear God.
Like, you know that meme where like someone gets like an electrical outlet and plugs it into itself for infinite power?
Holy shit, dude. Fucking. Have you ever seen the male to male fucking power cords? They're like really dangerous.
I bet.
I'll show you it sometime. It's insane. They actually exist. Alex keeps asking you, Mr. Jsoull, what's your favorite video game and pony?
I hate bronies. I had a very bad experience with bronies back in high school.
You didn't have a brony phase? For shame.
I did not have a brony phase. No. I had an anime phase, and I was like borderline weebish, but I was never a brony.
You got standards. What's your favorite game then?
Fuck. I mean, recently? Shit, man. Let me check.
Just in general.
I mean,
I couldn't say recently. I don't play any
I
recent games.
couldn't say that because I was like, it depends. Like, I have a lot of favorites. Like, if I want to say like of all time, it either have to be Halo 1 or Zero Mission. Even if they aren't the best games I play, they meant a lot to me growing up. So I'm counting like what they meant to me in like my development
Okay.
as a gamer, I would say those two games are definitely the top because I think Zero Mission was the first ever the first game I ever played was Halo 1, and then after that, the second game I remember was Zero Mission. But like recent games, shit, I guess that's a really hard question, man. I'm sorry. Noita's pretty
Yeah.
good. I love Noita a lot.
Noida's just
Wait.
like spitball, like names.
Yeah,
like, of things you
Noita, I
enjoy.
fucking... Well, I did love Arma 3 a lot, but recently it's been fighting me pretty hard. And
Nerd.
well, Arma 3 can have some of the best gaming experiences I've ever had.
Oh,
when
totally,
it works.
because it's like social. Like,
When it
it's one of those
works. But half the time, when you're walking down a hallway, your head explodes for no reason. I actually did an Arma 3 game with Dark Signal a couple years back. And we're just walking upstairs, and he falls down dead with maximum damage on every part of his body.
Holy shit.
And
Dude.
we never found out why. And there was no traps,
It's
no barbed wire. He just walked up the stairs, and the
thing,
physics
dude.
fucked, and it
It's
killed
the
him.
ultimate immersive experience.
It's horrible. Okay.
This is the real military simulator gamers have been waiting for.
Yeah. Other games, Axiom Verge 1 and 2 are pretty fucking good. Brigador is pretty fucking good. I used to be way more into VR, and I really like Blade and Sorcery, but not really a VR fan anymore.
Oh, I still need to, well, send me your old VR helmet, then I'll take it.
I got the HTC Vive, and I felt fucking betrayed by Valve because they ended up coming out with the fucking Index a couple years later.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
That really fucking pissed
Oh,
me off. I
man.
saved up
That-
for a whole fucking year to get that set
that's
up. And then a couple years later,
actually
oop, look at our new objectively better Valve-based
Oopsie.
console. Like, fuck you, Valve. Fuck you. I'm not spending
Yeah.
$1,000. Bunch of
Yeah, that's a good
assholes.
point.
Yeah, okay. I liked Dark Void back when I played it on the 360, but that game's basically forgotten forever now. Dead Space, everyone but 3. 3 was bad. 1 and 2 were great, especially 2. One of my favorite horror action games of all time. And last one I can think off the top of my head is probably Death Stranding, but I know a lot of people are going to try to kill me over that.
It's fine. I mean, dude, if you enjoy a game, like, you enjoy a game, that's like the point, you know, to have fun.
You can't have
And, like,
fun
it's
anymore.
cool.
That's the point.
You're not allowed to have fun. You have to ask Twitter if you're allowed to have fun. Okay, alright, I'm just gonna bring up this one back a tiny bit. I don't know if this question got answered yet, but do you feel that fan animations have this weird wobbly movement, not really seen in Crinkles' animation? That question's very funny to me because I personally feel like it's the other way around. Not to diss Crinkles, but low-key I think fan animators have done his style better than he has.
You can't say that.
It's kind of insane to think about it. You can invent an animation style and have people do it better than you. But like, I don't know. I understand what you're saying, but I think it might also depend on like where you're looking. I mean, like if your exposure to Madness animations is just like Crinkles and then like Stick Nodes animations, then I guess it looks wobbly.
God damn.
But I don't know. I mean, okay. Someone asked me a question.
Last question, then I gotta go take a break. I'm gonna go
Oh,
take a piss.
wait. Shit. Okay.
Answer it
Oh,
first,
this is worth
motherfucker.
it. I don't know if it's worth it. 'Cause it's for
Do
me.
it, for Christ's sakes.
Fuck. Okay. Someone was asking me, do you think it's worth the shot trying to learn traditional animation? Yeah. I mean, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to be an animator, then I think the best way to start animating probably wouldn't be Madness. Just because I'm saying that just because Madness kind of teaches a lot of animators
Do
bad
stick
habits that are
figures.
hard to shape.
Do stick figures
Stick
first.
figures is probably what I would chill if you want to like get started, but you're not very good at drawing. Because here's the thing, like I think stick figure animation will teach you a lot more good habits, like in the long run, than doing Madness animation to start out. Just because like the way that Madness animators animate is just so unique and different than like any other sort of animation form that it's just like sometimes you'll be someone like Konami. It's just Konami is what I'm talking about. Look at anything that he's made that isn't Madness and you'll know what I mean, where it's like this really uncanny valley where like he animates people and stick figures in a Madness style, and it's like really bizarre and not right. And I feel like just overall, like you can be a good animator like overall and then start doing Madness and it'll be a lot more intuitive than someone who's good at doing madness and then trying to do anything
Yeah, I remember
else.
when I first met you, and you remember when you're in the Rainbow Warriors in the good old days. You came in
Holy
with your
shit.
fucking test. I remember
Only
this test.
7 people.
Yeah, your dude threw a
7 people in the
bomb.
world will know what you're talking about.
Rainbow Warriors,
Yes.
man. Fucking OG
Yeah, dude,
shit.
Rainbow Warriors, dude, that's the Skype group.
Fucking hell.
Dude, you know it, dude.
Yes.
But, like, yeah, I had a background, like, not doing madness, but I kind of had an idea of what to do, kind of. So,
Now, before we continue, I need to go take a massive leak, and I'm also gonna go get some fucking bread rolls to eat because I need some gluten in my bones.
Alright.
So, I'll be back momentarily. I'm gonna use my fancy pantsy be right back
Can you...
screen.
Okay, wait, if I shared my screen, could you set the stream to be my screen?
Why would I want to do that?
Well, this is the intermission. People can suggest things for me to draw.
I'm only gonna be like 3 minutes.
Oh, never mind then, alright.
What do you think? I'm gonna take an hour to go take a piss like I'm a grandma?
Dude, I don't know. I'm used to like talking to Zapshon, and he just like
Fuck
very
you.
thoroughly washes his fingers.
Fuck you.
I'm sorry.
Washing your hands when you go to the bathroom? You some kind of fucking priss? People like you make me
Shut up.
sick.
Shut up.
I'll be back.
I'm gonna
okay, I
fucking
actually
wash
do
your
wash my
foreskin
hands,
clean.
but Zapchon is so thorough in washing his hands to the point where I'm shocked he even has fingernails anymore. I'm
Dude,
just
this shit's polished.
polished. He polishes his hands to a mere shine. He's like that. He's like Silver Surfer. He looks like that in real life. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes.
Alright.
Gotta get some ice too, because I need some fucking liquids in my bones.
I'm so lonely. Oh, sorry, that was stinky. Alright, let's see, we got Potki said put on Ram Ranch. Alright. Alright, so let's see. There are people in the chat saying Q&A. Okay. So what do you want to ask me? Okay, is pronounced Zapchon, not Zapcon. I like how you spell like with a J, like maybe because like J can be pronounced in so many different ways depending on the language. Like it can be like Swedish or whatever, and it'd be like Zapion, or it'd be like Spanish and it's like Zaphon. Like, dude, all right. Oh, okay. See, I see some questions I can answer. Okay. So, we got, yo, you talked about stick figures, stick figure animations, animated frame by frame. Yes, for the most part, you can do it in twins if you wanted to, but yeah, stick figure animation's done generally frame by frame. You draw each frame, but there's like tons of different ways you can do it. I mean, there's not many people who've done it, but there are some people who would like, they would animate stick figures by like doing keyframes, and they would like, you know, they would do shape tweens. There's like maybe 2 people in existence who've made rigs of stick figures, but you don't really need to because you can draw it really quickly. But yeah, I mean, there's tons of different ways. You know, it's just just a simple stand-in for a person, and you can like iterate and make animations super quick. So that's why it's a cool medium, I guess. All right, let's see. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Okay. Well, Baloney's asking about the hurricane. Yeah. It did work out, and I'm very thankful for that. It was scary, and I did not mean to. I guess shitstorm's not the right word, but like I wasn't expecting to get that much attention that I did. But it was pretty scary when the hurricane was happening, and like no one knew what was going on. It's a complicated thing. But yeah, we did get the generator, and that actually was thanks to you guys for fucking donating. Like seriously, I'm like so crazy thankful that it could even happen. Like, just have internet strangers, like, just give you money to, like, be able to fucking put the power back on so I can draw more stick figures. But, yeah. Let's see.
Man, I hope no one here's allergic to gluten, because I'm coming here with 3 pounds of
Oh,
this shit.
he's back! Okay, how do you become Madness? Alright, just, like, go on Twitter, I don't know.
Well, Twitter is where you go to become a loser.
Someone was asking about that earlier, like, what's the best way to interact with the Madness community?
God,
And
please, God, stay off Twitter. Stay
I didn't
off.
want to answer the question because I
Stay
wasn't sure how to
away
answer
as far as you can. Dear God.
it. The Madness community, I will admit, because I remember when I joined the Madness community back in, like, maybe it was, like, 2016, 2017, it was, like, it was hard to break into. I wasn't sure how to, because, like, everyone's very sort of kitschy. I don't know what's that word.
Yeah, a lot of people are fucking weird, man. Everyone's fucking crazy. It was better back in the days where we were stuck on Newgrounds. Because at least then we couldn't form these
Skype.
crazy groups and fucking do a bunch of Discord gay ops.
Dude, Discord gay ops, man.
No, I'm gonna specify.
Oh,
well, give me 1 moment. I'll explain what I mean, but you go first.
Oh, no, I was just getting questions asked to me. So, no, go ahead.
When I say gay ops, I don't mean people are gay. Gay ops is referring to
No,
when
of course
people are
not. I
doing
know the
like.
expression.
No, I'm talking about like to the audience because a lot of people don't know what
Oh,
it
yeah.
means. A gay op is like when it happens a lot, especially if like this isn't a Madness specific thing. It happens on Discord and in real life. A gay op is when you do something that's so preposterously petty, but you treat it like it's dead to rights. Your life depends on it, and your future depends on it. And all it is like infiltrating a Madness server so you can become a moderator for some evil plans you have down the line.
Yeah.
Or trying to
I
do
always
like
love
what
that.
GP tried to do back in the day. They tried to do a hostile takeover, fucking
Dude,
CRM. That was
see,
ridiculous.
here's the thing. This is why I love the Madness community, is because I love how seriously people here take this stuff. Like, it's insane.
It was awful. It is shit like that.
Like, just like with all the Zaption stuff. And not Zaption,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Kelzad stuff, where like Kelzad, like, that is the definition of gay ops, where like he wants he is like a mastermind villain who wants to take over the Madness community forever.
It's
And he's
it's
like,
almost it's
are
funny.
you kidding me?
It's funny. Like, see, back when
Because
I actually
why do
cared.
you care so much?
Well, the thing is, back
It's
when
like a community about like a fan, like it's a community about fan animations of like this weird Flash cartoon on the internet, and you have people who like treat it like this their entire social life, where it's like,
well, for him,
I'm
it,
gonna
well,
be the,
to
I'm
be
gonna take
fair,
over the world.
to be fair, for him it is his social.
For
life.
him it is. Yes, all he does, he doesn't even have a job. He just lives off of fucking welfare and just like animates Madness all
Yeah,
day.
so for him, I can understand why he's never gonna leave. Literally, nothing worse can happen
that
to
is
him.
his life.
Nothing worse could happen to him, and he'll still be here literally forever because he has nothing else. And I feel like when I recognized that, I stopped being mad at him, and I just started feeling bad.
Yeah, seriously.
And that's kind of like
Really?
he's the shining. Like, I used to look up to him back in the day, back in like 2016, when I was really
Yeah.
into when I first joined the
Yeah,
community.
people did.
Yeah, and now I recognize him as like a cautionary tale for why you never take Madness that seriously.
Like, it's a hobby, you know?
Yeah,
And
that's why I
that's
do
gonna-
my
that's gonna be
best to
fun.
treat it as a
Not-
hobby. That's why I don't want to have a Patreon or any shit like that. And that's why I don't even
I mean-
monetize my videos. I just don't want any part of me to think that I can rely on Madness for revenue, so I never treat it more seriously than a hobby.
I will say though, for this, will you monetize it? I'm saying because it is long enough to make ad money.
I don't
and
think
have
I
a feeling
don't
there
think
are
I
gonna be enough people
will.
watching all the way through.
I know it wouldn't make money, but I.
What if like, because I think you can set the point where you can put ads. I think now,
Mm,
and if you set if there's like some sort of point where you could put one mid-roll ad like somewhere in it, you could actually probably make some bank. Just saying.
no, I don't want to do that. That goes against my whole opinion. Like, I know, like,
Fine.
I could make a lot of money off it, but I'm already paying
Yeah.
everyone who's on the team anyway, so it's not like I have an obligation
Well,
to monetize it.
Well, that's what I mean is just, you know, make some of your money back in that sense.
I already
So
have
it
it,
is kind
but
of
I
out
already
of
got
your
a
pocket.
job, man. I
That's
get,
true.
I get like it's monetary income, and I know for like basically anybody they would monetize, but I just don't.
Right. That's, dude, that's cool. Like, you do.
I
you,
just
it's your
feel
own
like
thing.
personally,
saying.
I'm just not gonna monetize it. If I do stuff that's not
That's
Madness
awesome.
related, yeah, because I'll be taking more creative
makes sense.
prospects more seriously. But specifically for
Right.
Madness, I wouldn't do it.
I feel like it has enough, like, you know, original content to kind of be considered almost its own thing in some ways. Just like with all this, I don't know, like this kind of the whole storyline's kind of, you know, something new, and like you have like all the sprites are being made. Like it isn't totally just like stealing Crinkles' intellectual property. does feel like something new.
I do. I
But,
do think that some people make pretty
you know.
cool stuff. Like B-Boy is selling prints, like Madness prints, but the thing is, his shit is
Oh, yeah.
so out of this world good that it wholly
Right.
justifies it. Like you see that, like what he did a
Oh,
couple Madness days
totally.
ago, Very Red Day.
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
Insane.
It is like no one can convince me it's not the best piece of art in the community. It is so
Yeah.
insane.
Right. I mean, I have a Madness poster I bought from a Death Ink a long time ago. It's like, it's pretty cool. I mean, like
Yeah.
it's it's still not original.
Well, it's like fully original like that. The issue I have is when people are doing it shit that's like extremely derivative, like Realm or NFTs.
Yes. I will say, don't do what Kelzad did, because that's a part of like the Kelzad insanity, where like, so he makes his entire social life madness, and then he like starts paying people to like spy on other friend groups and stuff, and like does other crazy civil like Cold War type bullshit, and then like on top of that, he makes his like monetary income half from welfare, half from, 'cause he doesn't have a job, he just does fucking Realm all the time. He like has like a Patreon and stuff where he tries to turn it into like a business.
Yeah, that's
Like,
that's
you're
that's
consuming every part of your life in this.
yeah, that's the thing. Like I'm
And
okay with
that is
like if it was just making money on the side, it wouldn't be as bad. But it's like he is fully treating it as a job, and I think this is kind of a bit too far. I feel like that money should be kind of going towards Crinkles instead, because he's the one who's is kind of the creator of Madness itself. And for him, it is his job, because he's working on the fucking, he's made the fucking game and shit, and made everything. I mean, he's the reason we're all here.
yeah. That's the tale for any question. It's just like don't be Pelzad.
Not to be straighter about it. It's just like don't take Madness seriously. Don't treat it like a job. You should always treat it as a hobby, I would say, because a shit ton of people they just take it way too seriously and they try to get money off of it. And the other side of the coin's Baran doing his fucking NFT thing. That is
care, dude. Look,
it's insane.
it is dumb. It's insane, but here's the thing. It's what my argument with that is. I think it's dumb. Everyone else thinks it's dumb. If someone thinks it's dumb, they're not gonna buy it. That's the thing. Like, if nobody buys it, then it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I understand the energy argument, where it's like obviously there's an environmental factor of like minting it does use a certain amount of electricity. However, every transaction, including ones to buy it, will also. So if you want to do your part in like not destroying the environment or whatever, you have the choice to just not buy it. Like, you don't have to, And that's the whole thing with that. Where that's why I don't really care that much. I think it's crazy, but I think it would be even crazier if people bought it.
Yeah, a lot of people, basically anybody who's seen is fucking laughed at him, treat him like shit, and for good reason.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
it's like I have nothing against Baran though. I love Baran. Like, and
I love
like,
that's
I
the
see
thing,
what
I
he's doing.
fucking love them too. I was really looking
Like,
forward
it's
to his
nothing
shit.
personal.
He has a lot of talent. I really liked his solo movies. They were really fucking good. But
Does this change that?
my opinion of him is far lower. I had a personal conversation with him.
For me, it doesn't really.
I mean, it's mostly the talk I had with him. He basically said to me, like, there's two ways this is going to go. Either I'm going to make some money off of it and everyone hates me, or everyone's just going to hate me. And that's
honestly, it's that's the whole thing for me is that my opinion of him didn't change, and I'm just saying that in the sense that it's like, dude, I can understand the mindset of just like you see a thing where you see there are people making tons of money, and it's like it costs like nothing for you to do it. I mean, minting is like barely any gas money in like Ethereum. Like it's like, so I mean I understand why he did. It's like it's barely any loss for him to make them. And there's only things to be gained in
I get
monetary
why.
sense.
I just don't agree with it.
No, yeah, I think it's dumb, and I don't. But I understand. I understand the hustle TM of being some dude in Ukraine, and wanting to make a quick buck off of people. But
I
like,
get where
it's
he
also
comes
just,
from.
like, it's
I'm just really
dumb.
disappointed because now his reputation is eternally fucked. Because everyone, like anybody that's seen in any server who talks about it, like they all are treating him like a joke. They're all saying like he's a fucking idiot for doing this.
Seriously? Oh man.
Treasure server.
That's kind of a shame.
I've seen a
I
Treasure
haven't really
server.
seen any of that. I'm not really in any servers though. I'm just in the Madness Den.
Discord of Madness and
But-
Treasure shit talk him a lot.
That's
about
kind of
it.
a shame. I mean, like, dude, like, just don't buy it. You know,
Don't buy it.
that's just the system we live in, man. People are gonna like, you know, people are gonna try making money however they can, and that's just how it
It's
is.
2021 for you. Can't wait for 2022 where people are gonna start chopping off body parts and selling them.
So, okay, wait, right. I got no one on for a little bit. Let's see if anyone actually said anything. Billy's in the chat. Hey, Billy.
Hi, Billy.
Billy, I don't have anything against you. You're cool. The couple times I've talked to you, you're nice.
He was nice when I was friends with him too back in the day.
Let's see. Oh, Happy Days is saying it wasn't Ethereum. It was,
What the hell's ADA?
Cardano, I'm pretty sure.
The fuck is Cardano? Never heard of
It's
it.
a different cryptocurrency bullshit. Than
It ain't a
that.
pump. It's probably a pump and dump.
No, actually, that one isn't. The dude's like who does run is like actively fucking losing money running that.
Oh,
But
so isn't that kind of like a bad
there-
sign
there-
for the NFTs?
No, it's a good thing. I mean, like, well, sorry, that's like a different. I don't know. I'm not gonna have a fucking crypto discussion right now.
Yeah, I feel like people
but
are gonna start shooting
yeah.
themselves.
Yeah, we're gonna start. Yeah, people are start fucking like going crazy.
Just go
let's see.
crazy. Just go crazy.
Let's go crazy. Don't mind if I do. Okay. I'm looking for questions. Come on,
Life
guys.
is full of questions, but maybe they don't
There's
exist.
so many questions out there.
Everyone's just crazy. But
Now people are asking about NFTs, what they are. No, I'm not doing that.
We're not talking about NFTs. We hate them. We hate them all. If I have to talk about one more fucking NFT, well, I'm just gonna be a little upset.
Sauce Boy asked, what would even get someone to make a Madcom NFT? Dude, you're an idiot. Just make money. You can make money from nothing. That's why. Let's see. I don't want to talk about Sethic shit. Man, all you
Yeah.
guys talk about not fun stuff.
Yeah, I want to talk about fun stuff, not shit that makes me depressed. Like
Yeah, seriously.
an idol that I really valued ended up being
Yeah,
one of the
I
worst
will
human
say
beings.
that though, like a lot of you guys, like especially a lot of the new people, don't understand that. Like, we've known Seth like, forever and considered them to be a friend. Like I did personally. Like I've talked to Seth for years, and people don't quite realize like it isn't that easy to just like know somebody for like like whatever how many fucking years, like maybe like 5 years, and then just suddenly be like, oh, I guess I cannot talk to you ever again, and I have to say every instance ever that you are the fucking Antichrist. Like that's not an easy thing for humans to do, and it's hard to explain that to people. Where obviously I'm not like defending them or anything, but it's just like you gotta understand like it isn't that easy just to like drop friendships and relationships with people like it's like a toy you don't want to play with anymore.
Because
Like
they
Seth did
meant
with that
a lot
for-
to you. They're a lot in your life. You spend a lot of time with them.
Yeah, and it's people don't seem to understand that. Where it's like, ew, why do you like why would you associate with this person or whatever? And it's just like, man, there's a lot more. Like I understand this from a position of like probably you've never been in a situation where you're friends with someone who gets canceled or whatever. But like it is actually difficult.
It sucks.
It's like what do you? Yeah, that's.
It sucks a lot, and it's greatly saddening the situation.
Yeah.
And next, it turns out literally anybody I liked ends up being an animal torturer.
I'll be honest, I don't have the energy to care anymore. As fucked up as that probably is about me, I don't have the energy to care at this point. There's so many people who get canceled over stupid stuff, it's all the same to me.
Well, I
I'm
wouldn't
just
say
like-
the Sethic one was stupid.
No, the second one isn't really stupid. But it's just like,
Everyone's just
it's
in
just
pain.
a lot. It's just a lot, and
Let's talk about fun things instead. Nerdy shit.
Yeah.
This one guy
Sorry.
asked how good the cloning system is at ammo for restoring recently killed people. I haven't really thought about that because they haven't really had the time to test that out. Because this entire mission they're doing in Max 2 is kind of like an all or nothing. And I doubt they've brought their cloning vats with them. They're probably decently good at it because they do clone their own soldiers, but I'm not sure how good they would be cloning dead people.
Cool.
They could probably manage
You make spam like out of the corpses. We'll ship it off to Hawaii. They'll love it.
It's kind of gross, bro. And Hawaii,
You know
you know how
what
much
I'm
those
saying.
you know how much it's gonna cost in Hawaii?
How much?
It's gonna cost, like, Hawaii is like one of the most expensive places to live in the world.
Yeah, it's all inflated.
Well, because it costs, because they gotta ship in everything.
No, that's a good point. But you know,
Same with why Alaska's
I
really
see
fucking
Jollybag
expensive.
in the chat. Wait, hold up. Jollybag, I did not say anything about you. I don't really give a fuck. Anyways, go on.
Jolly bag.
But okay, I will see. Oh yeah, spam talk. One thing I think that's really funny about spam is that it's like the most American food ever. Like it's like literally just it was made like, you know, like as war rations for American soldiers, where it's like this like strange imitation meat that's like can last forever because it's full of preservatives. And what's the ironic part is that it's like is incredibly popular everywhere that isn't America, yet it's made exclusively in America, which I think is funny. Where it's like it's massive in like Korea and like, well, okay, Hawaii is a part of America, yes, but outside of Hawaii, yes, but I mean, like, you know, you have like the Philippines, Korea, I think it's Indonesia, a lot of places in Asia. Like they really love spam. Like in Korea, I'm not even joking. Search this up. There's like, there's spam ice cream. Like you get a little popsicle, spam. It's the most vile thing I've ever seen.
It sounds utterly
okay.
abominable.
I got a question from Mad Yellow. Have you ever played Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow? I'm sorry, no. I don't play that many video games. I haven't really played any
Dawn
video
of
games.
Sorrow.
I'm sorry. I suck. I probably should then.
Skrinth the Squid asked if Phobos never died, but didn't Jesus kill him in Project Nexus Classic? Well,
Project Nexus isn't canon to Max 2, motherfucker!
Oh shit, he activated.
well, no. If I wanted to really get angry, I'd be smashing my table with a really loud bass boosting, like what happens in private calls.
This is my favorite thing when talking to like to Swift, like Sam, like they'll fucking press the spring on their microphone arm and just do level 5, just fucking nuclear bass blast. God. Yeah. Alright. Let's see. Talking about spam. People talking about Jollybag being a slang for condoms. Where's my best friend, Mr. X-Tile and Max 2?
I don't know if I'm gonna have him show up or not. I mean, Raph shows up with the X-Tile group when they're on the tram ride near the end, but I don't know.
I'd imagine
where I'm
X-Tile as being like a grease-tier biker gang.
I mean, they're kind of
That'd be
like
kinda cool.
they're kind of the cool kids club.
That's
And
like
then-
that's how I would interpret them.
They all end up getting shot anyways.
And then like they're loose associates with like these people who live in the sewers and like deal drugs, which is just like older chat. Like, little,
Ew, so
little
they
greasy
smell.
Italian men. Yeah, I mean they're obviously not Italian, but imagine them as Italian people.
Italians.
I don't know.
Sewer
Little-
mafia.
Yeah, little Jackson people.
Jesus Christ.
All right, so will Roz show up in Max 2?
Probably. I don't know. I need to find a place to put him. X-Tile's group is made up of Raph, Xerxes, Coda, Kree, and Rockluki. And they're gonna have a couple other people with them that die, and then they all end up dying in the end anyways. But their main group is like that set of people.
Yeah. Side note, but I like Rock Lucky sprites. I've always had a soft spot for them.
I
Like,
wanna
I don't
give-
know why, but his
I want to give
design's just cool
Rockluki
to
a
me.
hug.
He's just cool looking to me, like his character.
Oh wait, SM28 might join this chat.
Oh, for real?
Because he finally came back. He was supposed to join 96 days ago.
Shit. Oh, oops.
Let me get him in here if he's even alive.
Dude, by the way, I will say if anyone doesn't know, SM28 is the hottest person in the Madness community. Just saying that.
He's super
At the time before he
sexy.
joins, I will say he's the most attractive in real life. If you ever find a picture of him, your dick is gonna.
He
fucking
just came
explode.
back from a convention to go fuck some anime chicks. So let's see
Dude,
how
I'm
he
dead
did.
serious. Like before he joins this call, I just want you guys to know if you can find a picture of him online, do some digging. You won't believe how fucking hot this dude is. That's all.
That's
I
very
was expecting him to
sexually
join a while ago. So I
sexually
kind of went longer than I
inappropriate
should've.
comments in a madness chat, man.
Yeah,
Can't
I'm
do
sorry,
that.
man.
It's wrong. You can't say sex things.
Jellybag's asking if Raph is gonna show up.
Yeah,
The
Raph
other
does
fellas.
show up.
Yeah. I feel like you probably mentioned it.
I did it. He
Um,
wasn't fucking listening.
I can't believe it. Fuck.
Fuck.
Okay.
Goodness gracious.
God, I cannot read this chat now. Okay.
Good. I hope you can't.
No, I mean I can, but I'm just seeing.
Hmm.
It's just white noise in my eyes. He did not join the call yet. What is he doing?
Sexy man named BFG asked me what my favorite animation is that I've made. Max 2, even though it's not out yet, I like it more than anything else I've worked on so far.
Yeah, no.
That should say a lot for how much value I'm putting into it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, goodness. Let's put that in there. Okay. This Soul Dad is thinking as long as he has a gun, he can win, but this isn't classic madness anymore, man.
Man, this is me, but like at some point, if I ever get like a bunch of free time or whatever, I kind of want to make like a madness animation where it's like kind of like a gang war, where it's like there's not that many people fighting, but everyone takes a lot of hits, and it's just like kind of like these two like little factions, and like every couple scene it cuts to each person, like each perspective, and like you kind of like have like a lot of personality and like put into each of the characters, like you get to know them a bit. I think that would be really cool. Just to have like, because it's kind of like putting the whole madness thing on its head, where it's like in madness you just have like one dude go through like waves of room of like people, you meet them for the first time and they die a couple seconds later. I feel like it'd be kind of cool if you had like, you know, you put a little bit more character development in each, like every single person on screen. I think it'd be kind of cool, like a gang war.
Everybody just shoots each other because that's how it is in real life.
Yeah, but it's all fucking dramatic and shit, and everyone's crying over each other's corpses, and it's like, why? But then everyone gets shot like 50 times before they die. Yeah, it's cool.
Well, I think that's a little too
Realistic.
It's not about realism, it's about stakes.
See, I grew up in Philadelphia, and that means that I know what it's like to get shot 13 times when I'm in kindergarten.
Yeah.
I had to spit bullets out of my mouth by the time I was 6.
Dude,
And
that's
people
awesome.
nowadays complain about not getting air conditioning.
It's like fucking chewing tobacco, but just a bunch of shells in your mouth. And you spit them out.
Yeah,
And
instead of
Pop Rocks.
bubblegum, I popped fucking shotgun shells in my mouth and chewed the rubber.
Dude, that's your Pop Rocks. Just fucking buckshot.
Fucking shit. Yeah, all that lead poisoning is why I ended up becoming a madness animator.
Dude, that's how you do it. That's what happened with what's his name? Van Gogh. He went insane because he would clean off all his brushes using his mouth, you know. Pretty,
Wasn't there
pretty
like
kinky.
wasn't like
He
metals
used
and
lead
shit?
white paint. Yeah, he used lead white, like the pigment in the paint, and that's obviously lead. Yeah, so basically made him go insane.
Ouch.
It's poetic almost.
Fuck, man, that's pretty bad.
I know. That's what madness does to people. You're like animating madness, and it just makes you crazier. And then
We're
that
just-
craziness makes
we're
the
just
animations
crazy.
better.
We're just fucking crazy, man.
We're just quirky.
You know, people saying quirky makes me want to like stab you. I'll do it.
Okay, what's a word? Because I have a couple answers to this. What's a word that you just hate?
Moist.
Moist is a bad word. Yeah, that's an annoying word. I have a couple words that I don't like, where it's just like I hate the word yikes. I don't know why, but it's just like it makes me cringe.
Oh, because too many people.
It's just funny because I used to say it at some point, but now it's just like I read the word, it makes my skin crawl. It's like
Your
yikes.
skin crawl.
Like it just makes me think about like the fucking like the stupid Silicon Valley like error screens on like Google and stuff, where it's just fucking oopsie whoopsie, we made a fucky wucky.
Yeah, that shit.
Yikers.
Well, that shit just happens everywhere, man.
Yeah.
He's got to get
No,
used to it. People
yeah.
just go fucking nuts. They're all
It
crazy.
is. Man, there's a bunch of words like that.
Bunch of
They all suck.
words.
I know. Give us
Bas-
some fucking oh what?
I remember this one. It was in like Madness headless collabs, bodiless something, where I don't know what it was. It was like a preview of some animation someone was doing, and it was something like this. Like there's just the head, and he was being forced to shoot his friends with like really melodramatic text, and when the camera zoomed in on his hand, it was literally being animated like this. But it was completely serious. Like, it was supposed to be like a really dramatic scene, but he's literally animating it by like wiggling the hand around like that. Like his hands trembling when he's about to shoot his friend.
He's trembling. He's gonna do it.
And then he's like, oh.
God, yes.
He stops. He's like, oh, of course, perfectly tweened to the point where he's gonna shoot, and then bam.
Just activates.
I just think it's kind of fucking funny. I'm
This is
sorry.
pretty funny.
If
Yeah, you
anyone
guys
knows
got
what I'm
any other
talking about,
questions?
you know
Yeah.
what it is. Goodness gracious.
Man, you guys suck at questions.
You suck at questions.
What's up?
If you're good at asking questions, you wouldn't be here right now, would you?
So,
Maybe because I like being
it was
mean.
funny. Yeah. Before I joined, like, it was funny. It was like before I joined this stream, I was just reading the chat and like, oh, I have an answer to some of those. And then now I'm just like, oh, I got nothing.
Or maybe that's just what happens. You talk to people.
Oh yeah, actually I do. I do have something that someone said earlier. They're asking about like how to animate like a stab, and they made me think about something like, and I know like this might have seemed like a strange question, but it's like, what I was thinking about is, it's one thing like a pet peeve of mine, kind of in a lot of, it's not just like Madness animation, it's like a lot of different animations, where like people make all swords and stuff operate like lightsabers. Like where they're weightless and they just like slice through somebody like butter. And I just feel like if you wanna make something look if you want your animation to be brutal, it's actually less about the amount of detail on the gore and blood. It's more about the character acting, because you can have like, because I've seen stuff actually. There's some part, I don't know what shit is, but I just remember it. Like there's some part in Selfication where it's like the amount of the gore is like hyper detailed.
It's one of the last scenes I remember.
Yeah.
Like the gore is really
Where it's,
fucking
like,
detailed and nasty.
The gore is like hyper. I don't remember which one it was, but like the gore is like hyper detailed and like. But the thing is, all the characters like cut through like nothing, and like for some reason it should be brutal, but it wasn't brutal. Like I feel like you could have like simple gore and blood, but you can have something be brutal just by the way you present it, not just in like the the rule of like less is more, but I mean literally like have it so. This my roundabout way of saying, like when you're doing stuff with weapons and melee combat, have there be like resistance, like have it the momentum, like you have to think about where the momentum's going when you're cutting somebody, and when you're cutting through meat, I mean that's basically like if you're to fucking hit a wall, with your sword or whatever. Like, it doesn't cut that easy, no matter how fucking sharp your fucking samurai blade is.
I think
it's gonna cut at first, but like
I think I smoked some crack always. What the hell happened to make this body go over here? And how did it go up?
Shit. The future.
My perfect frame was ruined forever. Now the animation can never continue.
So yeah, if you guys want something to look brutal, it's not about how much blood you add. Just like have them fucking like have the axe swing at the dude's neck and have it get stuck in the neck, and then have them struggle to take the fucking axe out. Like just use the frames to do that rather than just have it go cleanly through will make like a ton of difference. Like just little things like that. Let's see. Did anyone actually ask any questions?
People were just screaming and crying. We could talk to ourselves.
Screaming and
about life.
shitting and farting. Oh, aside from helicopters, are there going to be any other aircraft in Max 2?
Jet planes, Max, Satan. Yeah, pretty rounded out.
Satan. Yeah.
I mean, if you were
That's
here
cool.
earlier, you would have seen the tanks.
Uh-huh. That's one of my favorite things. Is I love all like the machines you designed. They're super cool. Like,
Well, we'd be
Max
losers
and,
if we just had entire wars where people were walking around slowly shooting at each other.
That's true. You should make little like drones, like in Half-Life 2 they have the little drone dudes with the blades. Do something like
Mad
that.
hacks.
I don't know.
Well, there's
Yeah, man hacks.
sort of,
Those dudes.
kind of are. There's an ammo grenade launcher that fires
Okay.
like tracking grenades that fly through the air and move around projectiles in the environment. So there is kind of some like
Yeah. But I do appreciate the thought you put into like how like all these different machines and stuff. I think it's pretty cool.
machines. Well, I just like to have it so that a war feels like a war, especially when the Nexus core is supposed to be like some super conglomerate where they got to throw everything they can to try to defend themselves.
You gotta have some dramatic scene at the end of the movie where it just pans over like all the scenes that we've gone through, like just covered in corpses and destruction.
I was planning for there to be a
Pretty cool.
composition like that near the end before the final battle.
You could have it during the
between,
credits or something.
Not
like,
no.
maybe
Well, during the
credit
credits
roll.
would be inappropriate. It'd be best during the
Oh.
before the final battle to set the stage for what
Yeah.
about what's gonna happen.
But I think having like a moment of quiet would be like really impactful. Just
There
like,
will be a
I
moment
guess
of
in-
quiet.
I mean, it's been like to build up the stakes a bit, because you have like this whole crazy fucking like non-stop action for a while, and then maybe like to build up drama for like the final fight or whatever. It could be cool to have like some sort of, you just like go back to the scenes prior, but like just with all the corpses everywhere, just all the fucking destroyed shit.
There's gonna be bodies burned in the
Cool.
streets.
Yeah.
You can see a pile of
Hey, Reggie.
unarmed Nexus civilians getting set on fire by N51. So that's just how it goes.
Questions, boy. I got another question. Would you mind if there's Madness animations that's focused on story and no one actually dies? I would love that. I think that's just kind of like an unexplored thing, just using Madness like as a medium. You know, that's something I always kind of thought that like Dio-Tunes kind of did, in the sense like his stuff was always like, he always came off to me as like a guy who's just an animator who just happens to use Madness just as like a medium to tell stories, rather than them being like explicitly Madness tributes.
Yeah, I got that feeling, especially from his old gladiatorial one, Madness Gladiator, whatever
it's
it was.
just kind of like it's just, and I get that, where it's like you want to tell a story, but this is just the best way you know how to, and like I feel like there's a lot of room for that in Madness stuff. But this actually goes into something I was talking about earlier, where well, I was talking about like stick figures and Madness things. Madness is entirely driven on motion. It conveys and explains things through things moving, while with stick figures it's about posing. And what I will say is, you will definitely have a challenge if you want to do more story-based stuff with Madness, because the thing is, I think a large part of it being fight scenes is because fight scenes are just about the most kinetic, like, what's that the word? Kinetic, where like kinetic things you can do, like with these characters. Like they work their best when they're always moving, and fighting is when you're moving the most, probably next to like free running. But I don't think free running would work very well in Madness just because they don't have legs. But
No more
and
legs
the
for
thing
you.
is, because if you're gonna do something story based, it's probably gonna have a lot of character acting, and character acting is really hard with Madness. So that's kind
Well,
of
you voice
that's
actor
probably
for
the
fucking
reason.
Black Berserk, so you can't say it's unfound territory.
No, I'm not saying it's unfound. There's tons of, I mean, dude, a freaking Little Lucky Links, you know, animations.
Well, he didn't have voice
Freaking-
acting in that.
No, I'm not talking about voice acting. I'm just talking about story in general.
Oh, yeah.
Like those had character and story to it, and it was entertaining. To be fair, there was death and fighting, but like.
Dawn
I
of the
feel like it can be
Madness is
done.
like a miracle, because a classic animator came back to finish his story, and he wasn't a
Yeah.
monster in doing so.
Such a cool dude. Such
He
a
got
fucking cool
done
dude.
what he needed. Oh, fucking grabbed the bullet on a different layer. I hate Flash. Never want to use it again.
The future, you gotta lock everything.
I
Can't
hate
have
locking
shit.
things up. It reminds me back when I went to jail in '86.
Alright.
That's right, guys. I'm
Uh,
dangerous. You don't want to look up to Jsoull. He kills people.
Fucking dangerous, dude. Alright.
Goodness gracious.
What we got? Wow, okay. Oh, will the Blackguard exist in Max 2, considering how there was a tower guard in a couple of scenes?
Oh, you're talking about the golems you saw earlier. Yeah, there will be tower guards, like the ones from Project Nexus. They're gonna be Phobos' kind of royalty, a royal guard. They're gonna be cool. They're gonna poke people with sticks, and then they get their head exploded. That's how that goes.
Yo.
Hmm. Goodness gracious. I guess people are enjoying the Neo Tokyo remake soundtrack. I might put on
Oh,
Dead
yeah.
Pirates after this. Dead Pirates are like a band no one
Dude.
knows, and that's why they're dead.
I haven't heard of them either, so I guess so. Dude, fucking Reggie joined the chat and is just like absolutely. I looked away for a while and looked back, and I just like see the name over and over and over and over. So.
Oh god. She's coming here to send bombs to my house.
Yeah. Whoops.
Oh dear.
Alright.
Punches get thrown my way.
Yeah, punches are flying, dude. Fucking flying spin kick.
Fucking Street Fighter style.
Jsoull, were you in Alcatraz?
Yes, I was.
That was
I'm
a
the reason it got
question.
shut down. I'm the reason that was proved that it was a failure.
Oh man.
Okay, what's that? Fucking. Can't get that fucking head to look right on the way down. I'm gonna kill someone. I'm gonna kill
Violence.
Crinkles because he's the reason I'm even here. I'll do it, Crinkles. I'm serious.
I'll fucking do it.
Goodness gracious. Damn these soldats and their shitty peripheral vision.
Someone asked, how many hours do you think you've put into Max 2 so far?
I wish Adobe logged my hours so you could see how many.
Yeah.
I'd say at
dude,
least.
For real, I've had things like that.
Fuck. I mean, if I had to ballpark it, at least, I don't know, probably like 400 hours, 500 hours.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I mean, I animate a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Jesus. I gotta get done this movie or else I'll wake up one day and realize that I'm not really alive.
Yeah, you kind of have to. Like, there's a certain point where you've sunk enough, and you gotta do it. But I mean, fuck man, you got this.
I mean, I've gotten this far. I didn't give up on Parodic 2 when that seemed like it was doomed. I'm not gonna give up here.
That's very true.
Parodic poo, more like it.
It seems like it's chilled out with the questions.
Good, because I'm sick of talking to you fucking
Yeah.
mongoloids.
I'm saying that because I kind of need to go eat dinner soon.
Oh,
but
so
I
you
don't
didn't
wanna totally
abandon
leave
me,
you.
huh?
I don't want to totally leave you hanging, man. Like, I'm just saying. Like,
So I should never talk to you again. I get it.
I guess so.
I mean, bloody hell.
Bloody hell, bro. I'm just saying, I'm probably gonna have to go for a bit, but
Starve
thank
to
you
death.
so much.
Starve to
Okay,
death.
well, I'm sorry,
love
but
you
I'm saying
always.
thank you. I,
I
love
love
you,
you.
dude. Seriously, you're awesome. You fucking inspire me. You're such an awesome animator.
Go to hell. You're
Thank
the
you
one
for
helping
having
me on this
on.
damn movie. You don't get to compliment me like that.
Fucking suck it, baby.
Fuck you. See, that's what happens when you try to get people to help you. They only fuck you over. The only way to make madness is to go completely insane to the point where you do nothing, literally nothing in your life, not even sleeping, not even eating. You just gotta hit F6 all day to the point where you die in your fucking wheelchair. That's the only way to do it. Goodness gracious. Squint the Squid. I see you're asking about staging and backgrounds. Well, what I usually do is I make a background, like a minimal amount of detail necessary to do what I need to do with it to know where characters are able to move. Like I put my door there, put the object, obstacles and shit in the middle, and then I add like the bounds to where they're able to walk. And that's kind of my minimal amount of work I do in a background before I keep animating. And then I just animate all the characters, then I come back later and I finish the backgrounds. Because making backgrounds this big in Flash is sort of like trying to build a house out of moldy toilet paper. Even if you get it done, it'll never be as good as something that's made to be a real home. It's an abominable circumstance, really. We'll keep going for a little bit longer, then I'm going to end the stream so I can go hunt down animals in the forest to eat for dinner. Just got done a decent amount of work. So basically, this is the section that's that separates the commercial, like public blocks and sectors from the private ones. So after this section is like the medical research center, weapons research, and then eventually as they get further up the tower, they get to Phobos's personal little palace on top of the megaplex, and that's where one of the last big multi-unit battles takes place with Phobos's royal guard and some N51 cyborg death squads and all kinds of wacky shit. It's also where Abaddon finally shows up after 3 years of sitting in the desert, just shitting himself with oil. I'm sure to sync this up real quick. Should get to angle that a little bit further down. Now, is that too far? Or gotta match up, gotta line up those bullets. Man, it's way too low. I need to be like a fucking face shot. Oh, Potke, the current runtime of the movie is about 19 minutes. But that counts unfinished scenes too, so... I'm about at the halfway point-ish, past the halfway point for the movie. So full thing's probably going to be longer than that. I don't want to make it too long because it's how you become a loser, but I'll try to make it good while not being too long. Because asking people to sit down for more than 40 minutes on a madness movie is kind of like asking them to swallow a bottle of pills that's unlabeled. Okay, let's see if this works. Good enough. That'll work. I was gonna animate the rest of this loser. Ace of Spades. Ammo's leader is well, it's a bit of a trio. I made a YouTube community post about it a little bit back. I'll open the file. Let me go find it. I think I called them the Three Losers. Where did they go? Might be this one? Wait. Fuck, I don't know where I put them. I'm gonna have to check in here. No, that's really old. Jesus. Maybe this one? Yeah, here we are. Here's the Three Losers. Even though I still need to work on remaking this guy because he's a bit of a hodgepodge. Originally, this guy's body was supposed to be this guy's body, but eventually we remade this, and then I redid the head, and then this guy kind of became his own thing. He has a movable pupil. It's sort of like Abaddon's, so he can look around and he can emote. You'd be like, wow. He looks so happy and optimistic, but he needs to look angry all the time, so I give him that little kind of cat pupil. Each one of them is a nice bundle of fun. Actually, let me check how much, because Adobe Animate, ooh, wow. Adobe Animate has a memory leak problem. So just to show off how much space it's using up, I can show it in here. I'll copy and paste it. 13 gigs. 13 gigs. 13 fucking gigs for this. A couple dozen sprites. And it's increasing by the second. Every time you open Flash, it's like a time bomb. The longer you leave it open, the more memory it takes up. It's a memory leak. And you end up just getting fucked really hard. So what's going to end up happening is you're probably going to witness one of those infamous blackout crashes. So to preface that, let me just save real quick. You'll know it because everything starts turning black and then all my progress gets deleted and I need to reanimate everything for the 90th time. The truth is I finished Maxification 2 centuries ago, but I've been constantly having to remake it because every time I'm near the finish line, everything gets deleted by Flash. 13 gigs. The highest it's ever gone for me was like 16, and I'm pretty sure that's like standard issue on a lot of computers from like last decade. So Animate itself can take up the full processing power of a middle-of-the-road computer in 2015. Just a couple dozen sprites, a couple gradients here and there, some blurs, and it's like, well, just too much for Flash to handle. I mean, Christ. Yeah, but I'm gonna redo this guy. I was supposed to do like a robot brain in the back, but it looks kind of dumb. I'm gonna remake that so it doesn't look like shit. I'm gonna give this guy custom hands with little claws on them. I'm also gonna make it so his antennas can actually move around so he can express himself with them. Face reveal. Oh my god. He'll actually look a lot different than that. One second, there you can like wiggle them around and use them to emote. Like now he's really sad. It'll be delicious. Oh, I gotta give him like little ball joints built into the helmet for it to really look good though. Pez, I am personally insulted that you've compared me to Bethesda of all people. You know how much I hate them? That's like reminding a World War II veteran about all of his friends he lost in the war. And yeah, you never want to put glows and blurs on sprites for the most part. They're just here because this is just an isolated sprite sheet to show off what I'm working on. But like in actual animation, I know it looks cool to have your glows on the spot. I mean, I shouldn't even be having any glows here. I'm an idiot for having them here. But they will work against you every step of the way, and they will make sure that you do not get your project done in a reasonable amount of time. Goodness gracious. Let me get down the rest of the hands on this asshole. good enough. Jsoull Todd Howard crossover. I don't even want to try to describe the surge of horrific negative emotions that just reading that has caused me. Is the music coming in clear for you guys? Or do you want me to switch the album to something that is in Neo Tokyo after 96 hours of listening to it? I could switch it to some shitty rock band from the early 2000s that no one's ever heard of. That might be fun. I'm glad to hear you guys like it so much. It is indeed one of my favorites. I keep all the bullets here just to keep them compact, and then when the main composition's finished, I distribute them so they're all on the appropriate layers and have the appropriate depth. It just makes it easier to keep track of them, so they're not spread all over the place like buckshot. I'll do one here. QQ. Let's do 0.75 that. Actually, it's gonna go through a shield and make it 0.8. That's better. Okay. So here's the extremely intrinsic art of making a bullet madness. Pretty intense, right? I can make it hit him in the neck, or it can... Nah, that might be too high to hit him in the face. I'll have it so it goes, like, into the empty point of his arm around his throat and go out his back. That'll work. And hear the first piano stroke in this song, it actually makes me think it's the opening track to Hyperlight Drifter. Because it's the same key press. Alright. Get that fucking gun out of the way. I'm gonna finish shading this, take any last questions, and then I'm gonna start wrapping this up. Because I'm become so hungry to the point where my muscles are starting to ache from the lack of nutrients entering them. And that usually means it's a bad idea to keep doing what you're doing. So I'm just gonna do a couple more of these. Okay, besides highlights, that's basically done. Goodness gracious. I do gotta warp the decal around that because it pocketed the metal. Yes, give me a second. That's good enough. Okay. If there's anything you guys want to say before we go, now would be the time to do it. Next time I do a stream like this, well, this went pretty well overall. I'm probably going to do about like once every month or so. Probably near the end of the month. I'll show updates as we go along, and I'll keep up the YouTube posts to show off whatever shit I'm doing. But do keep in mind, I'm going to be taking a week-long trip sometime around March or May, depending on how things go, so I probably won't be streaming when that happens, but you guys will know in advance. Well, Podk, thank you for the kind words. Am I going to delete the stream? I don't want to delete the stream, but I also don't know how to save it automatically. So I guess we can just kind of pray. Maybe YouTube will back it up, maybe it didn't. I originally wanted to start recording on my laptop, but I ran out of time. And I was a dumbass, and I should have set that up earlier. Yeah, I don't want to delete the stream, but I don't know how to back it up. so I guess it'll be lost forever. Let me get through the rest of these real quick. When do I think I'll finish the movie if I had to guess? Fucking probably sometime next year. I mean, it depends. I can probably get it done next year as long as I don't get into like a car accident. Or at least I'll have like 99% of it done and everything get finished except for the last art pass and a couple scenes I missed. How many poor unfortunate OCs are dying here in the cartoon overall? Asks Shoot to Choose. It's about 70 in total, but only 30 so far have been seen. Well, 30 killed, a little over 30 seen. There's gonna be a lot more by the end. Goodness gracious. I did want to say though, I'm very, very grateful for all of you for being patient while I'm working on this damn thing. It means a lot to me and I really don't want to let you down. I want to make a film that meets everyone's expectations and then some. So where you can look back 80 years from now when you're in a retirement home on your government mandated iPad and you can look at this movie again, you're like, yeah, those were the good old days. Before dying in your sleep peacefully. Which is what I see happening to most of the people around here. At least hopefully. And no, I'm not gonna get my thoughts on X-Tile. They're a bunch of losers. A bunch of pansies. I'll say that. But just because I said that, they're gonna start shipping unlicensed packages with no return addresses to my home. And if I open those boxes, you might not hear from me again. And if that does happen, anyone who asked about X-Tile in here would be held legally accountable. Holy shit. This entire movie has been just working on it's been a roller coaster, scene to scene, area to area. And I just I want to get it out as soon as I can, but I also don't want to compromise on its quality. I will ensure that it is the best possible state it can be, and that at no point in the future I could ever do better than it. When this comes out, Crinkles will watch it and he'll be like, you know what, that's pretty good. But then other people that can't handle the fact that madness can be this good, they're just gonna curl up in corners and cry themselves to death. I'm never gonna unprivate my account. That's a terrible idea. Although I'm going to assume that the stream will likely save temporarily. Or maybe it doesn't and I'll never have a chance to do it ever again. I guess we'll have to see. Future streams would absolutely be saved, however, and I would show more content around those. This is mostly just to test the waters to show that I can actually handle doing something like this on a semi-regular basis. Because I want to engage with the people a lot more overall. I mean, I'm kind of expecting people to kind of try to copy shit from what they've seen from this stream, to be honest. But it's a bit of a safety net, because previously people were stealing assets and scenes and effects from the movie, but they couldn't be publicly proven that they stole it, because they were mostly on the private side on like smaller servers. But now that it's public, if anyone takes something from this, then it's completely obvious they took it from it, because everyone can see it. So it's a bit of a catch-22. Alright, I think we're about ready to wrap this up. I had an interesting time. I'm glad things went okay. I'll see if I can upload the stream as itself. If I can't, then you can ship me a couple boxes of rusty razor blades and I'll record myself swallowing them for your amusement. Maybe that'll make up a fraction of the trauma I've induced by not recording this on my laptop ahead of time. But we'll have to see. I love you all. Thank you so much for showing up. I'm going to try to do one probably around this time next month as well. I'm going to try to make this a more common thing. And hopefully have a more consistent co-host that won't run off and go eat food like a pansy. Alright, I'll be seeing you guys. Have a fantastic afternoon or morning wherever you are. And thank you for sticking with me for all this time. I genuinely appreciate it, and I hope the final product will meet your expectations.